Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101, your number one podcast about achievements. Yes, it's just that simple this week. This is level 92. Joining me tonight, we have an all-star cast of Nate, L, and are you even a guest at this point? Sarah, what's up?
I'm still a guest. I'm on here like once every 2 or 3 months.
Feels a lot less than that.
If you've got your own key, are you a guest? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, my access does disappear every so often, so...
I don't know. You're almost a permanent member in guest access at this point.
My bathroom breaks are no longer pinned, so, I mean, I just don't know.
So many people are just like, what are they talking about? Secret Discord channels.
Great way to start off the show. Made everybody feel real included.
That's what we're about. Hi, Elle. You've been quiet.
Trying to think of a bad joke. Kenny has a high gamer score. Oh.
Kenny's earned a lot of achievements this month.
Kenny's good at games.
I'm not supposed to earn a lot of achievements this month. I'm in a
I'm
competition with X
it's
to
fun.
not play it. It's not my fault X challenged me to not score. He should have known better. Don't stop complaining, X. It's not my fault. You know I don't score a lot.
So, can we get a progress report on that? Like, or are we gonna...
Whoever gets 400 hours in Gems of War without blowing out their brains wins.
I mean, I guess I could get an update.
Is he beating you?
Okay, so for this month, I have earned 2,620 gamer score.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's more than I would have thought.
It actually is more than I thought, too.
Honestly, that's on
He
par
did
for what I
Surviving
usually
Mars.
do.
Doesn't count.
Wait, you played that this month, Kenny?
Hey, air quotes.
I think you did.
No.
There were no air quotes.
I played it twice.
But you
I got
played it
this
twice and you only have 2,600 gamer score? Shouldn't you have 3,000?
Good point. Okay,
If you bought
maybe
the DLC,
I am
which you
under
didn't.
this year, yeah. No, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I didn't buy the DLC. I don't want to spend money on that. I'm too cheap for that.
Yeah, that was some pricey DLC.
Not everyone's
even on
rich like
sale.
you, Sarah.
Yeah. If it goes on
What are you
sale, I'll
saying?
probably
If you're
get it.
saying you're not rich, then you should not be wasting your money on that garbage.
I didn't buy it.
You have diapers, you have formula, you have awful nose rings to buy, you have lots of things to buy.
Jeez.
Harsh.
Somebody's grumpy.
I'm very grumpy today.
Are you going to complain about my hair color again, too?
No, it's beautiful. I'm just jealous that you have hair, so don't worry. Anyone play any games?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get to X's leaderboard, but, screw it. I'm bad at TA. So, I have 2,600. I'm pretty sure I'm winning right now, because he keeps yelling at me.
He has earned 2,547.
Damn it, he's winning. Wait, 2,547?
Yes.
That's an odd number. That's weird. Okay, so he's winning right now. That's why he's yelling at me. Because he wants to play more games. That makes sense.
You chose a bad month to play Surviving Mars.
No big deal.
I mean, it's not like you put in a ton of effort on our challenge the month before anyways.
So let's get into what we've been playing. Because of this whole challenge, at least that's what the excuse I'm going with, I've really only been playing Gems of War, and I'm not going to recap this again for the second week in a row. Sarah, you being on here, I just want to say once again, thanks for all the help. Like, I've been doing a lot better in Gems of War. It's been so helpful. I actually feel like I'm making progress now. Here's for you. I've completed all the quest lines, and I have the skeleton key, so I'm ready to go.
Nice. Have you assembled the team, leveled it, and traded it yet, though?
I have assembled the team. I have the egg thief team, like you told me to make, and I've leveled it as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
I just need more cards to ascend everything.
Yep, and then you can grind some souls with the Dragon Soul team, so that way you can level. Yep. You got it.
That's what I've been working on.
Perfect. And
And
don't use your orbs.
I have not used orbs. I remember that's the one thing I remember. I gotta ask Sarah before I use orbs. Got it.
But no, glad it helped. You've actually have kind of rekindled my interest because, like, I don't know, I got kind of bored of the slog, but like seeing you get excited about it and building these teams and like seeing other people like get back into it, like it's been really fun for me. So yeah, I actually have some incentive to start chipping away at that ridiculous 100 medal achievement.
Yeah, like that's literally all I've been playing this week, and I've put a lot of time into it. And one of the things, which is also kind of why I wanted to bring this up, is I've been using xCloud quite often for this game. I know, Nate, whenever it was that you went on your trip to Canada, was the last time we actually kind of talked about xCloud. And I know you kind of had some problems with it.
Yes.
I've been, like I said, I've been using it more, especially on my poo breaks at work. It's been great for that because I can sit there for 10 minutes to play Gems of War. It's actually been working really well. Maybe like when I was at work, because the Wi-Fi there kind of sucks. It was always really, really laggy, screen tearing. But it's been like almost perfect while
We're
playing
talking
at
about
work.
the Wi-Fi, right? Not the poops.
And you're playing
Yes.
on your phone, correct? That's the device you're playing on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing on my phone, and like I said, I'm connected to very mediocre
Interesting.
Wi-Fi.
So
And I've been doing the console streaming, not the actual Project xCloud, but the console streaming.
Interesting. So when I return to the office eventually, I can attempt to do that?
I would give it a shot. It's definitely been getting better.
So my Xbox
At least
has
in my
to
case, it
be
has.
on, though, right?
No, I think it turns itself on, but it has to be set to auto on.
Okay. It is on auto
Right.
on. Okay. It's just mine shuts down after it's idle for an hour. So
Yeah, it should be able to reconnect and turn on. It's just you have to make sure you have the power settings set to auto on.
yep.
Right.
I mean, why would I wait one whole minute to boot up my Xbone?
Seriously.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if this makes a difference for you, but make sure if you're using cellular data or if you have a cap on cellular data, make sure if you
Unlimited.
turn that off. Okay. I'm same here. I just know some people don't have unlimited data, so that I imagine that will tear through it quickly.
I use a ridiculous amount of data as it is anyways.
Same here. But
and,
yeah.
and I'm on my in-laws plan, so I mean, if I throttle all their
Oh, well, then
stuff,
who cares?
Exactly.
No big deal. That's their problem, not yours.
Exactly. I do pay my own phone bill, for the record, like a real adult.
Well, that's
Like a
just
real
dumb.
adult.
All right, but yeah, that's all I wanted to mention with what I've been playing. Kick it over to Nate. What you been up to?
So, a little bit earlier, I saw someone shout out and say, hey, I want to do some Victor Vran. Now, if you don't know about Victor Vran, he is a vampire hunter or some sort of monster hunter, but it's very much like a Diablo game. I'm not sure if it's got another kind of history to it, or if it's books, or if it's comics, or other games. I don't know. All I
His
know
name
is
sounds
that,
familiar.
yeah, well, that's alliteration for you. They make you think that it's familiar. But I picked it up because I like myself some Diablo kind of dungeon crawling and fun stuff like that. And so I got it on sale a while back, and then someone said, hey, let's go for this 4-player achievement where 4 people have to kill the boss, the very first boss. So jumped online with Isrit and Oz Buffniak and his brother R56 Cooper, and we knocked that out in about 15 seconds. Because Oz, I think it was Oz. I think he cleared all the way to the boss, and we all had to do that separately on our own individual runs so that we could all do it together. We could all warp to that point on the map. So we I think the day before, 2 days before, whatever, anyone that hadn't done that kind of prepped for it. And we popped in. He said, let's do it now. 15 seconds later, killed the guy, got the achievement, and then we all logged off. So it was a very quick, very efficient boost. Unlike most boosts. It went great.
So,
Wow.
question, does this play anything like the Van Helsing games? Because that's immediately what I read when I read Victor Vran and realized that we were not talking about Van Helsing.
Yes, it's similar to Van Helsing, but I would say that Van Helsing probably has a deeper talent tree, This does not. It has armor and things like that. I think I upgraded it a little bit, but it doesn't have the same kind of talent tree that you have to worry about.
Okay.
Looks like this was Games of Gold at one point.
Really?
It's possible. It's got 2 DLC packs that come with it. One's Motorhead and one's some other theme, but not named after a band. So,
The Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades!
Oh, rip Lemmy.
Aw. Wait, Lemmy passed away?
yeah.
When
4 years ago.
Really?
No, it wasn't 4 years ago. No.
That was in 2016.
No way that was 2016.
Really?
Dang.
I didn't know he passed away.
I'm pretty sure it was January of 2016.
I want to say
it-
it was 2 years ago at the most, but
Wasn't 2016 the year we lost like a ridiculous amount of celebrities?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the year kicked off on that. With his death.
2015. Dang.
Oh, 2015. Okay.
December 28th, 2015. So just barely. Yeah.
Okay, that's why he barely made it, or barely missed.
I'm sorry, I missed that news tidbit.
And now you learned something today.
Sarah was wrapping up secondary school.
Yes, I was. I had just gotten out of middle school then.
And now she's with child.
As in,
That
I
was
have
fast.
a child. As in,
Yes, exactly. Like in the house
You
with child.
are with
Yeah.
a child, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I am
right,
not.
that's not what that means.
I
No.
am. I
No,
am not
it's
pregnant.
not.
That's the other WC besides water closet.
Yes. So yes, on the record, I am not pregnant. Saving that for Achievement Fest.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Thomas there to just yell, "Thank God!"
You're gonna Redemption's gonna give you 2 million reasons to have a baby.
Oh goodness.
I would mention Mighty Mango, but I don't think he exists anymore, so no.
Yes, he was the alleged father of Corgan, but I was going to say.
Yeah, so that little Victor Vran session was good.
Cool.
I'll kick it to the next person. L.
Oh, hi. How are you? All the games I've been playing, now that I look at it, have been either old games or look like they were old games. So,
Someone's feeling nostalgic.
yeah, just happens to be that way. So Michelle mentioned last week that 7 old NES games came out that for some reason were individual releases when they really should have been a pack. But the good news about it is that we get 1,000 gamer score for each game. And 600 of the points are super easy for doing basically nothing. So what happened was a lot of people bought all 7 games and popped the 600 in each of them, which for some reason inflated all the ratios for these games. So these games are not hard. With that said, I've only done River City Ransom and Double Dragon. River City Ransom was one of my favorites from childhood. I used to play with my sister growing up. The good news is that there's a save state, and you don't have to put in the obnoxious NES passwords, which were long, and Nate probably knows what I'm talking about. You had to try to figure out if it was a 5 or an S, or
the font was not great.
0 or an O, and you have to, yeah. So the good news is if you're playing locally, you could still play 2 players. And there's a trick where if you're playing 2 players, if the second player hides off screen and the first player dies, you don't lose half your money. So you could use that to your advantage. So we bought this game and I tried playing online with Michelle. And yeah, I think she mentioned that the input lag was off. So that was the first thing right away we noticed. So you have to, when you punch someone, you see it a second later, and it's just not good. And then we went for the first achievement, and it didn't pop for either of us. So we knew right then and there that, unfortunately, it was not good to play online. So what we did instead is we did our usual simul playing, where we played separately but together, and I walked her through it, and we wound up getting that one done.
Is that an accurate statement? You walked her through it?
I did. This is my jam. That game is
Wow.
my jam.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's the other way around, if it's a puzzle game or something.
Or
So-
any other
or any other
game.
I didn't
So
even get.
potentially
I didn't get
stupid
lost.
On these old games, how can you possibly get lost?
You can
It's
get
just
lost.
Move right.
Well, I mean, it's do I go left or do I go right? Oh no.
Is there a
what's your
choice
question?
between?
Potentially stupid question,
Go for it.
but I'm young, so I don't know. Is this like, or is River City Girls like the sequel to this, or is it just happen to be the same name?
It's a takeoff of it. I don't know if you would call it a sequel. It's the
Spiritual
same-
successor?
Yes. So there's some of the same characters have cameos and stuff like that. So it's in the same world, and you'll have some of the songs are remixed in it. So yeah, it's based off of it. So that's not a stupid question necessarily.
Is it like
Double Dragon
same
is more
same
known.
development team, or
Yeah, Double Dragon is far more well known, I would say. So I did Double Dragon, which of course was a famous game, famous co-op arcade brawler. So
I know the name.
but this is the NES version, which you could only play one player, which kind of stinks. But I learned some stuff in the game to make it easier. So you could do save state, which helps out a lot. But something I didn't know is that in the second mission, there's this glitch, and you can, what you basically do is you kill an invisible enemy over and over, and your points go up. And when your points go up, your skills increase. So what happens is you get all the skills in the second level that you would normally have later in the game. So basically you earn the back elbow smash, and that is the strongest attack in the game, and you wind up just using that on everyone. And if you're lame, you use it on everyone, you save after defeating each enemy, and you just proceed like that. So I wound up going through the whole game not losing a life because I abused the save state. This game is very hard otherwise.
did you say Double Dragon?
I did say Double Dragon.
That's not the one where you have little dragons that spit bubbles that you hop on, is it?
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She's talking about.
What is she talking about?
I think she's talking about Bubble Bobble.
Yes. Yes. I used to play that with
Probably.
my cousin.
Probably, yes. No, they're
Double
not actually
Dragons is
dragons. They are Billy and Jimmy. They are the dragon twins, I guess you can call them. Foof,
I
you're
don't
just
know.
making facial expressions here.
I was just counting.
You should know. They
I've only
made a
played
really
6 NES games, so
they made a really bad movie of it with Alyssa Milano, and I don't know. It was a thing. It
I
was the
didn't know it was a
standard
movie.
for It was a movie.
I recognize Double Dragon because older people like yourself, you guys like talking about it. So it's like, oh yeah, I have nostalgia from that old arcade game. I've never played it. Like I said, I've only played 6 NES games, so. The
Okay, well now
catalog
you
is
have to
not
tell us
deep.
what they are, since you clearly,
Yeah.
I saw you counting to
You're
yourself.
teasing
Now
it.
I know why.
So, Super Mario's 1, 2, and 3,
Okay.
Duck Hunt, Contra, and TMNT.
Okay.
I think I'm about the
I
same
think it's
quantity.
the Turtles Back in Time.
No.
What?
You would have played, if you played TMNT, you
Actually,
would
I think it's just TMNT. It's the one where the first level's in the burning building.
Okay, so TMNT, the arcade game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I think we were playing it on Xbox a while ago.
yes,
we did
TMNT
it once with-
1989, yep.
Yeah, they're the only 6 games I've played.
You
And
didn't
that
play
TMNT
Tetris?
I love. Great game.
You didn't play Tetris?
Nope.
Huh.
Zelda? Nope.
I didn't
All right, you're
either.
fired.
Strider?
I think I'm in the same boat as Kenny. I think I probably played about the same because I
There's
never owned that
emulators that you
console.
can play. It doesn't matter if you owned it. You can play them.
But they're old.
So what?
I don't have hardcore nostalgia for them like you guys
You don't
did.
need them. You play
Same.
rat games. You play bad games.
Whoa!
Play some
back
good
up.
games that
I
resemble
have
them.
only done 13% of the rat collection. I just thought I'd point that out.
Oh, if there was a cat collection, you would have done 100%.
Amen.
And they
See,
would-
I just don't have that nostalgia to want to be able to go, or that urge to go back to those older games. I just don't.
well, maybe when you
I really
have
Don't care
your own
about
kids.
anything.
No,
Well,
honestly,
when I have my own
it's a
kids, I'm
blast
going
to
to show
go
them
back.
Xbox, the OG Xbox and PlayStation 1 games. Like anything
Right,
prior
and they're
to
gonna-
that,
they're
I
gonna
really don't
think-
much care.
You think FF7 is going to look good to them? No.
Oh, absolutely not. So,
but the gameplay is what's important.
funny
so
story.
look
I
bad.
remember playing on the PS1, thinking Tekken 3 was like, oh my god, look at these graphics when it has like that. It has the opening movie. It's just like, this looks so good. I can't believe how real this looks. And now it's like, it looks like garbage.
Yeah, it has not aged well. That era has aged the worst. The polygons, for sure.
100%. It is very difficult visually wise to go back to any PlayStation 1 game. 3D has not helped that era. What were we talking about? That's a big rabbit hole.
I can talk
We were
about
talking
maybe some of the
about
games
Double
that I
Dragon.
played. Not on the NES. Talk about Xbox games. So
This is an Xbox podcast, so that's probably a good idea.
But I'm talking about achievements, darn it.
so I am quoting my fingers here. I played Subnautica, also Mavis Bacon Mini or Mavis Bacon Junior, perhaps. That one was.
Didn't you just yell at me not too long ago for playing Surviving Mars?
No,
And out here you're doing it.
Sarah
No,
loves
no,
doing it.
No, I didn't
Sarah's
give you
the
crap
biggest
about
cheater
playing.
there is. That was me.
I was giving you crap
Off
about
camera.
playing it during your challenge with X. I'm just saying the
Okay.
timing was
Okay.
poor. No issue with you playing it because I played, Subnautica this month. And also, Elle, I don't know how you got lost. I really don't know. I played.
You remembered that? Okay,
Yes.
so you remember the part where you go up to the sand?
There's
And,
lots of sand in that game.
You go up and then the guy uncovers the sand.
Oh, you were at where you have to go through
monster.
the tube to get to the upper
Yeah.
level where the audio diary is, right?
No, there's like this big monster in the middle. And then you go forward and then they get rid of the sand for you and you can go up. I went the other way just to explore, but then it wound up shutting me out of the progress.
Rip.
Can't you just teleport back there?
I tried everything. I just wound up having to start over, and it didn't really take long. But at least I could say I played it for an hour and a half, so I didn't feel so bad about how long did it take you?
I don't know. I think it took me about 45 minutes because I had a few interruptions when I was playing. And I had to reload a couple of the levels because they had some issues loading. But
So you got lost too.
I did not get lost. The game failed to load correctly.
Mhm. That's a thing. You just have to reload the thing over and over until it loads correctly.
Yeah, and after listening to El Saga of this, he's like, because he said he mentioned the text guide and the pictures really help. So I used the video guide, which was very, very helpful. So I don't know. I just do better with pictures. Like, I'm not a big text guide
I love the text
person.
guides better.
Ugh.
Because when you
Quick
watch a
poll.
video guide, you're like, pause, watch 5 seconds, pause, do it, watch 5 seconds. It's just, I don't know.
So okay,
There's
so we got
there's no
Elle's
game that's
answer.
enjoyable in doing that.
Nate,
But I'll go
video
on
or
to that
text
later.
guide?
I'll go on to that later.
For Subnautica?
Or just
In
in general.
In general.
Oh, in general, probably text.
Sarah,
Don't forget
Video.
we grew up on
Hands down
Yep.
video.
me and Sarah are on the same page.
Yeah, Thomas is a hardcore text. Like, he
Yeah,
cringes
Thomas.
when I use my video guides.
No video.
Well, text
I
is
like
great
video.
because you can highlight the section you're on while you're on the page, and then you can scroll up and scroll down, and you can get back right to where you were. But with video, you have to scrub and
And there's also some semblance of trying to figure it out on your own with the text guide. Try to, like, instead of seeing exactly what to do, you could try it yourself first.
I also
See-
tend to miss and skip things. Like, if there's a big paragraph of text, I tend to miss things.
That's on you.
And also, if I'm using a guide to do a game, I
And are
don't
we
want
talk-
to figure it out myself. If
Are
I
we
wanted to figure it out
But are we talking
myself, I
about
wouldn't be using a guide.
collectibles or skill-based things?
Both. I just get
Let's do
lost
both.
in text of paragraphs. It's just me. Like, I'll read it and I just leave out things.
All right,
the
so for
biggest thing
example...
about video is it's not
Yeah.
searchable. So, like, you can't search video to
Control
find a
F.
keyword.
Yeah, that is true.
That's probably
So in other words,
the,
yeah, but
the
well,
number one reason.
they start from the beginning and don't even try themselves, so that's why they like the video.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is for collectibles, I get it, but for, like, say you're playing Inside or Limbo and they're just showing you how to avoid the deaths before you even try it yourself. Doesn't that take away the whole point of playing it?
No, that's a great
Well-
point because Inside actually played with the video guide this week.
Okay, and you didn't think it takes away any of the figuring out
And
yourself?
you robbed yourself of a phenomenal experience.
Yes.
I'm very much with L on this on when it comes to when it comes to Inside. I played Inside without the guide. I did it 100% by myself, minus to get the collectibles.
Right.
I love
you can
that
go
game.
back
Well,
to
yeah,
any
that's why-
chapter
that's-
and
So
find the
good.
collectibles.
Well, yeah, that's why I was playing, was to find the
No.
collectibles. Like, that's why I was using the
I
guide.
thought you meant you did it to actually.
No,
like,
she's
beat the game.
lying. Show some skills, girls. I know you got skills.
I do have skills. So, Nate, speaking of cats,
Yeah. There's
How
a
is-
cat inside. I'm sure.
There is.
Was there?
Somewhere in that glob. Yeah. Yeah. So I tried out the new Vayner, Gato Roboto that came out last week on Game Pass. And
How is
it's fun. Elle, have you played this at all?
I have not.
Okay. So the very first bit that you get into is so Metroid. Like, it is so Metroid. The room that you're in is basically ripped straight from Metroid. But in black and white. And then you're just kind of running left and right. And yeah, you can get power-ups. And it's a stripped-down Metroidvania. There aren't that many paths to go. There is some backtracking and there's some secrets, but it is really kind of like Minute meets Metroid.
interesting.
So if you remember Minute, it's a stripped down kind of Zelda type game, kind of action adventure. But this is this is Metroid with that Minute treatment. And it's great. I just need to go back and get some time to play it. I'm going to do a natural playthrough, which is what I've been doing. I got the first 2 achievements. I need to go to, I think, 2 more areas and fight bosses, I'm assuming. And then that's pretty much the game, to credits. And then after that, going back and cleaning up, getting all the health pickups, doing a run where you don't pick up any health, doing a sequence break, to get to an area before you're supposed to be able to get there. And then, of course, the infamous speed run, getting it all done in under an hour. So, yeah, it looks like fun. I know some people have already completed it, and other people have jumped in, and I'm looking forward to going back to it.
Questions.
Yes.
What are the cat themed items? Like, is there catnip or like, is there?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Sarah
Yeah.
is the crazy cat lady.
I mean, as always, when you're talking about cat themed items, you're talking about steam powered battle armor.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. There's no cat themed items. You're a cat. Basically, it reminds me of yet another game, which is Blaster Master. So,
Cat themed items in that one?
No. But you have a pet frog.
It's just not the same.
Okay. Well, in that
His name's
game,
Fred.
You're in a tank, and when you jump out of the tank, you're this little guy, Jason, I think his name is, and you're much more vulnerable on foot. But at that point, it's like a running gun in those levels. Well, when you get out of your battle armor as the cat, one hit and you're dead. But you're much more mobile, much more agile. You can climb walls. You can kind of like jump up walls and get to different areas. And sometimes to progress through the level, you have to get out of your armor, go flip a switch, and then get back to your armor, or go get a new set of armor.
Are the walls made out of like that cat scratch stuff that you climb up? And
They must be, every wall must be a curtain, because these cats can get really high. And then they jump to yet another cat platform and go back. So I think everything's made out of cat platforms.
okay. I'm feeling a little bit better about this game, because I mean there was no like catnip power ups or anything like that. So
Well, I mean, it's really hard to tell, with it being monochromatic. It could very well be catnip everywhere. I don't know. One of the bonuses that you get when you get these secret items is that you can change the color scheme.
ooh.
Yeah, so it's not just black and white. It could be fuchsia and teal. I don't know.
That's up your alley. You like things that are colorful and pretty.
God.
But no, it's a great little game, and it's on Game Pass, and yeah.
But that's only PC?
I think it's
No.
on
Is it?
both, isn't it?
It's on both.
It's on both?
I know there are achievements on the Xbox. I don't think there are achievements on the PC yet.
Okay.
I don't know if they're coming to PC or if they're just not going to be on PC, but if you want achievements, you're going to play this on the Xbox.
Yeah, this is TA says Xbox Game Pass. So, as far as I can tell, it's not PC.
All right, I guess I will talk about my other game that I played this week. So I have gotten back into playing Halo Reach again recently. Like,
Ooh.
I know. So I randomly jumped in a boosting session like a week and a half ago. And it was to work on like the daily challenges or just like grind XP to get to that ridiculous, lieutenant level achievement. And I have found myself now in a regular boosting group. We meet about every other day and work on daily challenges, grind XP, and actually having a fun time playing this game. Like, it's been nice
So
getting
good.
back into it.
Are you using
It
a
is-
video guide or a text guide?
Neither. I'm actually boosting with people.
All right.
And
That
actually,
game was
In
still
our community?
$20.
actually, I brought one of my boosting partners into this community. Alex
There we go.
RD has joined. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
in my
He's been chatty.
he's a great person to boost games with. It's been a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I mentioned our community, and he's dove right in. So, welcome, Alex.
So it was a TA boosting session?
Yeah, but now we just kind of casually get together. We have like a message thread of, when we're going to work on dailies and things like that. So, yeah,
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I got questions for you. Is everything still attainable in that game? Because I want to say at some point they stopped updating the dailies.
Yeah, everything's attainable. The dailies refresh every day. We got the weekly challenge achievement done last week. And,
Cool.
grinding away toward lieutenant. I got the general one a few days ago.
Okay.
To answer your question, Elle, they actually did stop that for a while, and then they restarted it. I forget the reason, but they picked it back up. Maybe it was Games of Gold, or when it came to Game Pass, or something. There was some sort of event. I forget what it was, but they were like, okay, let's start supporting this again. And then they brought back all the dailies, the weeklies, and monthlies.
So yeah, I might actually complete this game someday. I have all the DLC done already. I have a bunch of the miscellaneous achievements. After getting to Lieutenant, all I have left is about half the campaign on the Legendary Solo, which I'm not looking forward to because I'm pretty mediocre at this game.
Let me give you some advice. Use a video guide.
That's what I've been told. There are some cheese methods to get through.
This is where you want to use one. I think you run past stuff. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I never thought I'd actually finish this game. Some spouse of mine started it on my tag, and I just thought it was gonna be this black plague forever.
One of your spouses?
Yes, who shall remain unnamed. But yeah, I've enjoyed getting back into
Wow.
it, and
2012. Whew.
yes, they started at
No,
Achievement
2011
Fest.
it started.
So I will say, I noticed one big achievement you have not gotten yet.
Uh-oh.
If they come to hear me beg.
Is that the one where I had to jump off a cliff and hit an elite in the air, and it's ridiculous, and...
So I have a Chewie's Challenge Championship for you. An idea for you. Challenge Freem to see who gets that one first.
Just that specific achievement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm sure it's
getting
3
it?
months from now.
I'll have to slate that for June because I've already thrown down my challenge for May, which Koosh didn't even know he was involved with. And
I forgot. Well, I probably knew at one point in time, but the mind goes.
you do have a partner with that, right?
He totally forgot that.
Yeah, Chewie picked you as his partner.
Oh no! Oh, this new thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the new thing. Yeah, but we don't know what the new thing is.
Yeah, that's why I said I know you guys are in suspense.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Foof,
No, I know that.
Foof,
I thought you were talking about an
are
old
we
challenge.
Am I still a team with Foof?
Yes.
Kenny, I've always loved you and respected you, right? And you're my bestest buddy.
Since when?
And you're really good at games. And just a stunning individual who wears amazing clothes.
I might drop out again. I might have a bad month on purpose. We'll see.
You guys
We'll see
do
how
know
good
what
this
your
challenge is.
Side
your guys'
note. Halo Reach has 69 achievements.
Oh, and it has odd numbered
I
ones.
was waiting for you to see that.
Now, I think it's very lame that you've been playing Halo Reach in the year 2020. Foof, what have we been playing?
Copycat.
What do you mean copycat?
We started Halo Reach first.
Oh, right.
No, I definitely started first, 2011.
Oh.
Well, not what I meant. Let's.
Are you going to
continue.
talk about it? Or you still have more to talk about, Sarah?
No, I'm officially done talking about Halo Reach.
Kenny,
and
talk about Reach. Nothing to say? We're actually making progress and doing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Halo Reach has been great for us.
We're playing the Master Chief Collection version, by the way.
Yeah, on Master Chief Collection. I've already completed Halo Reach.
So some of the achievements are the same, and they added a few extras to go for, mostly Easter egg things. And
yeah,
I don't remember if the data pads were in Reach or not.
So does your Master Chief one have these infamous lasso things I've heard about?
Oh, gosh.
yes, unfortunately. Do you not know what lasso is?
No, I do not. I've literally have only played Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and that's it.
So,
do you know what the skulls do?
Is an acronym. It stands for Legendary All Skulls On.
Oh.
That's why it's so freaking difficult.
Yeah, so it's on the hardest difficulty. You can't see your gun. You have less ammo. And if you're playing in co-op, the Iron Skull's on, so if any of you die, you all start at the same checkpoint. You all die. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the Iron Skull is the one that really makes it difficult. If you're playing by yourself, if you die, you restart the level. If you're playing co-op, you restart to the last checkpoint.
That's still gross.
And then there's, like I was saying, you have the Famine Skull, which makes it to where you have less ammo in all of your guns. Thunderstorm makes all the enemies stronger.
The map is off.
Yeah, that's fog. You have no active. You have no you have no map radar.
Oh, well, I never use the radar anyways.
Yeah. Really? You don't look for the red dots?
I'm terrible at finding them.
Wow, even I do that.
Yeah, you have no HUD. You can't see your gun. You can't see how much ammo you have. Then you have the Skull Catch, which makes it to where grunts and other enemies throw more grenades.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the fun one, Black Eye. Your shields only recharge when you melee enemies.
Gross. So gross.
It's incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's not fun.
If you're playing Halo 2, all the enemies are permanently camo.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you guys are really selling me on starting the Master Chief Collection.
You're not going to complete it anyway. Just start.
Master Chief is great. Master Chief Collection's great to get a lot of achievements and to replay Halo if you really enjoy the game or to experience it for the first time. But if you're a completionist, don't start it. It's a terrible idea.
Don't tell her.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a tad of a completionist.
No, wait. Let me ask
I
you.
know.
is staying above 90% different from getting the actual completion?
Say that
in other
again?
words, if you could get 99 of the game's achievements, is that okay? Or do you have to... Do you understand what I'm asking you?
Yeah, I prefer that when I select a game that I can 100% complete it.
Mm-hmm.
There has been quite a few games that I have played and have gotten to that 95 to 97% and stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Odyssey, for example.
Whoa.
I missed one of the, 450 collectibles?
Ugh.
Not going
I
back.
think you've mentioned that.
So, and because I wasn't getting the collectibles anyways, I didn't complete the last DLC achievement either, which is grinding forever for this random item so you can get to the last floor of the weird elevator thing they have at the end.
That sounds horrible. There's way too many collectibles.
Yeah, it was not good. It also didn't help that I drank a lot while playing that game, and was using a text guide.
Now, but if you started it again now, wouldn't it be fun again? I've yet to play it. I've heard so many good things about it. You probably would be like, oh, the story.
So,
and I'm sure if you were drinking, you were paying a lot of attention to the story, right?
I actually watched all of the clips. This was a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to replay it, I would probably actually use someone has a Google spreadsheet, so that way you can check off the items in the areas and make sure you have everything
awesome.
before going on. So I would at least
Oh,
Is there more than one
that's what
save
this
slot, do you
game
remember?
is.
Yeah, you can have multiple save slots.
Yeah, that's probably what you need. Yeah, Kenny, remember? I think I told you a while back. It's the guy who did the music for the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, I recognize the name. I couldn't quite place it. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I almost bought this a while ago when it was on sale.
You might have.
Yeah,
it.
I remember
You might have
you-
access to it. It was free for some reason or another.
It was Games with Gold at one point.
It wasn't
Ooh.
that. They were giving it away for something or other.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and it's backwards compatible, so
Yeah, I
that'll work
remember
too.
you recommended me to play this,
I
especially
think-
being a turn-based RPG.
Yes, and I think I actually recommended it one of the times I was on here for a sale. It is a
Maybe.
very good game.
DLCs are cheap. That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it says it was free back in 2017.
I don't
And
remember
does it say
why.
what for?
Weird. And 2016. Weird.
They're just trying to give it away.
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe it
why.
was a game with gold. I don't know.
But that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Maybe I'll have it. Let's continue on. Elle, you got one more game you want to talk about?
I have a couple, Kenny. Back to the theme of old games. I was playing the Sega Genesis collection, and there's an achievement. There's 20 challenges in the game. And they range from super easy to super hard. You have one in Sonic the Hedgehog. They put the stage in like flip mode backwards, and you have to beat it in under a minute or something like that. And then there's there's one in Shining Force. You have to beat the first level without having more than one character die, and that will take like a half an hour. That's probably the longest one.
I haven't played Sonic in a long time.
Oh man, hold on, I lost my train of thought.
That was like, good story.
Okay, so yeah. So there's 20 challenges. There's an achievement to get 10 along the way, and then 20. So I got up to 10. This was a random to-do list, by the way, game. So I got up to 10 about midway through the month, and I said, all right, let me go for the other 10. And I did this the other night. So I did the Golden Axe 2 and 3 challenges, and then I hopped over...
I hear it's a great game.
I hopped over to help Vulgar Latin on his Worms quest. Worms WMD had the weekly quest. I've actually helped quite a few people get worms.
Thanks, Elle.
Yes, including FuFuCuddilyPoof. Everyone's like, "Are you sure I'm not going to get an achievement if I start this game?" I'm like, "No, you're not going to get an achievement." And then that's another story. So, and when I went back into Genesis, I saw that the Golden Axe ones were not flagged as being completed, so they were still incomplete. And the Golden Axe one had taken me a while, so I was very upset about this. Not just because I lost the progress in Golden Axe, but I thought to myself, now wait, if I do more of these, are those going to stay complete? So, being a dumbass, I sat there and I did all the rest of the challenges. And I started doing this at like 8 o'clock, and I finished at around 3 a.m. So,
Oof. Did you say 8 to 3?
I think it was something like that. Yeah, there was Space Harrier 2 took me a long time. The Shadow Dancer one took me a long time. But I got it done. I'm pretty proud of this one. It's got a 4.5 ratio. Not many people have it done on my friends list, so I was proud of myself
Well,
for
I
this
can
one.
see why.
Yeah, the things we achievement hunters do for completions, or for this is just one achievement, one singular achievement. From there, I wound up having to cleanse the palate with an easy game, so I picked up Bucket Night, which is a sometimes you easy 1K. So I actually had it was another one I got done in like 1 hour and like 4 minutes, so I had to put it down as a 1 to 2 hour completion. So, but yeah, this is what we do. We play these quick games or old games, and really just need to sink my teeth into some long campaign or another at this point. I've been itching to
Lost
do it for so
Odyssey.
long. Oh, that's so intimidating. I started Final Fantasy VII back up when it came out. I haven't gone back to that.
But Yakuza.
I was just about to say,
I
there's
don't want to start any Game Pass games. I just,
all the Yakuzas are on Game Pass. And
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Final Fantasy stuff on sale.
still have Westerado on Game Pass that I have to do. I don't know. I'm going to think about it.
Speaking of Game Pass games, I played one. I finally finished Afterparty.
Oh, nice.
So I was super hyped about this because I loved Oxenfree. I went in with probably too high of expectations. So after mistakenly playing Oxenfree with the guide the first time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in organically. My first playthrough, I'm just not going to look at anything, not look at the achievement list, just play it. And I don't know. I played probably about 3 to 4 hours and I just was not enjoying it. Things weren't popping. It just was getting frustrating. Finally, because just like the story wasn't pulling me in, and finally I broke down and used a guide because it just wasn't as compelling as Oxenfree. Now, have either of you guys played Afterparty yet?
No,
I have not.
No.
Okay. So,
if someone did a game club on it, I would.
This is not worthy of a
Maybe
game
play
club.
Oxenfree.
So, I mean, I may be unpopular. I think Kronos liked Afterparty, but quite honestly, I was very disappointed. I did not enjoy Afterparty all that much. I mean, there was definitely some humor, but I think it's just I had too high of expectations after playing Oxenfree. So if you are going to play it, I'd recommend actually using the guide because 2 playthroughs is more than sufficiently enough on this game. Because I ended up doing like 2.5, but yeah, it's done. And also, there's really annoying mini games in it that does not belong. It just frustrates you, and it takes away from the story, and you don't need mini games, annoying mini games, might I add, with bad controls in the middle of a point and click game. So that is my opinions on Afterparty.
Yeah, Corey streamed it when it first came out, and I'll be honest, it doesn't look like a Kenny game whatsoever. So
no, it is not a Kenny game. I mean,
I hear a lot of good things about it.
It's
but
funny.
It doesn't look like it's for me.
But by the time I was on my second playthrough, I'm just like, will this end? I'm just trying to finish this. I'm just trying to wrap this up because, like, I was like, okay, I'm going to finish it, pop the last achievement, and then put Corgan in his bath. I ended up putting him in his bath a half hour late because it just would not end. Like, it took forever to pop that last achievement.
That is a very unpopular opinion.
I know, but again, don't get me wrong. The game has good merits. It's funny, but just follow a guide. Don't end up with 3 to 4 playthroughs. You're not going to enjoy it playing it that many times.
All right. Well, with that, let's continue on. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about and bring up? That's about.
Shout out to the attack choppers.
I like your taco mug.
Okay. That's about what I figured. No one had, since there was nothing on the sheet. There is one thing I wanted to bring up. I don't know how much you guys are actually going to care about this, but the Series X logo was revealed.
Ooh.
Huh? Ooh.
Ah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super hyped for the Series X. I can't wait for it, especially now that my Xbox is starting to make noises every other time I turn it on. So it's starting to go up. So I really cannot wait for the holiday so I can get a new Xbox. Interesting.
That X looks a lot like the logo on one of our chemical suppliers at work.
Yeah.
That's
what I was wondering. I wonder what you guys think of the new logo.
Did you send it to us?
It's boring.
That's exactly what I thought.
I get a real weird, like, Metal Gear Solid vibe from it. I don't know why, but
I can kind of see it.
Doesn't it look like it belongs on the letterhead of the said chemical company that's still using QuickBooks for their accounting?
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Wow.
Yeah, it's like
it
just doesn't pop.
Good.
That was a QuickBooks dig. I thought I saw speculation that they're expecting a Series S as well.
Yes, so we don't actually know the actual name of it. We've just been kind of calling it Xbox Series S. It has been confirmed that there are 2 new Xboxes coming out. there was some sort of leak here recently that said that the Series S is going to be 4 teraflops in power, so that's way less powerful than this thing, and that's basically how powerful the Xbox One S is. So that's kind of So I mean, it's just a rumor. It's nothing official yet, so I can't really speak to it one way or the other if it's true or not. It seems kind of weak to me when we're trying to go into a new generation. Here you create a weaker console. That makes sense, lower price point, but it's not as good as your latest one.
Maybe it's
because at that rate, why not just buy a 1X?
Maybe it's more of a streaming console at that point, right?
It
does some things.
This is true.
Mostly, it's it's for xCloud.
Does it have a disk drive?
We do not know if it's diskless or not.
I'm sure it will.
Nice try. As of right now, the Series X does. Like I said, we know nothing about the Series S.
Oh, you mean the S?
Yeah. That's what she was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, we know nothing about the Series S other than it's just a thing, and it's going to be cheaper and less powerful than the Series X. But yeah, the logo, bring it back. The logo is kind of to me. Like, it's very boring. It very much just looks like just a logo that's going to be on the box, just to kind of signify what it is. I very much like the Xbox One logo much better. In my personal opinion, I wish they would just bring it back to the OG Xbox logo, as I think the black and green just looks the best. That's my favorite. I don't know about you guys.
It is pretty. Or you can buy special consoles, like my 360 one is blue.
Oh, mine too. Walmart special.
No? You and all your consoles are special in a very different way.
Wait,
I got the Halo Reach Xbox.
The blue,
360,
the blue.
to tie
I
it
thought
all
the
together.
blue 360 was only in Walmart. Thought it was.
No, mine has a blue light because it's the R2D2 console.
Oh, it's a blue light.
Ooh,
I got a
did not
blue
know that was a
one.
thing. R2D2 one. That's cool. I like that.
Yes, and it came with a gold shiny 3PO remote. It's pretty too.
You probably haven't. You probably never
I
even
like
watched
that.
Star Trek.
No, I never have watched Star Trek.
Just trying to trigger your BFF.
I mean, that's where my console came from, right? I mean,
Space.
All right, so
Space Wars.
it's starting to trigger me now. That is a pretty console.
Sorry.
Now let's move on because that's. Prue yell at them with me in the comments at them. Tell
sorry,
them they are
Prue.
bad.
I do know the difference, Prue.
But let's get into some sales. Continuing with the show. Nate, we know you're buying things. What you buying?
Yeah, I'm buying Flashback because I was surprised I didn't already own it because I was getting it confused with Another World. This game is $5 down from $20. It's a 4 to 5 hour completion. And, I don't know how I would describe this. It's kind of a platformer, action-y. There's a little bit of puzzle to it. It's an old school game, but looks good. The animation was great at the time. Yeah, maybe it's just a me game. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I'm picking that up for $5. And
I don't
also,
know why, but it kind of reminds me of my friend Pedro. The way it moves, not like, and kind of like the what's the word? Art style.
Okay.
But
Maybe.
I'm also kind of more seeing stills. So maybe I could be completely off on it.
Yeah. So like the animation of it back in the day was great. Like, so this was at a time when Prince of Persia, if you're Prince of Persia, the original, when that came out, the animation on that game was so smooth. This game was very similar to it in terms of how the character moved and each frame of the animation. So it's just there's a lot of nostalgia in this for me for sure. I don't know if anyone else is interested in this or not. Another game I'd like to mention is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, which is $5 down from $20. It's a Metroidvania platformer and it's 15 to 20 hours. Pretty sure it was on Game Pass and maybe some people started it, but that price is pretty sweet. So if you, for whatever reason, didn't get around to it, maybe now's a good time to pick it up.
It's on sale. Go ahead and buy it, Nate, and it'll come back to Game Pass.
Oh, I already bought it. I bought it well before it came to Game Pass. So
Okay.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
How about you, Sarah? I know there's one game you have to mention.
Yes, I will mention that last since it's the obvious one. uh, not so obvious is actually Layers of Fear. So none of these games I am actually buying because I own all these already. But so these are just my recommendation. But Layers of Fear is such a good game. Like, it's a really good horror, like, point and click. It's just very eerie and it's just really good. Like, it's, a couple of jump scares and the story is really interesting and the ending with the cat is super cute. So
Of course, there's a cat.
and then fairly obvious, I also have recommending the 8-floor strategic collection. Includes Gnome's
I'll
Garment
second
1,
this one.
2, 3, New Home. It also says Royal Roads, D-Day Through Time, and Lost Artifacts Soulstone. I was dumb and have bought all these individually, but this is a very good value at $9.99 for all of those. And I think I failed to mention that Layers of Fear is on sale for $4.99. And Kenny, is this the last one that you thought was obvious?
Of course.
Okay, my favorite rat is on sale, the Count Lucanor. If you have not played this already, it is on sale for $3.74. You need to play the Count Lucanor. It is one of my favorite games, and it is the best rat, and Redemption Denied agrees with me. He says it's a rat, and it's his favorite as well. So, ha!
Okay, but where's the cat reference in the cat Lucanor?
The cat
There you go. There you go, Nate. There's the cat reference.
Okay.
There was another cat game on sale that you missed.
I wasn't going for the cat theme this time.
Are you? What?
I know. I know.
What?
Who are you, Mo, if you don't
I know
Sarah?
what he's talking about.
Beyond Eyes. You got that, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a different
Oh,
one?
yes.
I knew
yes.
that's the one I was thinking.
Which is good for gamerscore hunters. It's
Yep.
I think it was like 2 to 3 hour completion.
Yes. And the cat in it looks like my cat, Illuster.
I remember
80%
this
off.
game now.
80% off $3. Yeah, you played this one too, FuFuCuddilyPoof.
Yeah,
And-
I totally played this.
And
Yep.
yes, Kenny, my cat is named after Aleister Crowley.
Mr. Crowley. Bow, bow, bow.
Wouldn't it be, in this case, Meowster, Crowley?
Meowster?
Well, cats are of demonic descent, so it's only fitting his name is Aleister.
All right. Well, we got 2 games coming to Game Pass. Well, at least 2 that we can remember. I hope I didn't miss anything. We have Gears Tactics coming to PC, and eventually that will be coming to Xbox. When it comes to Xbox, I'm definitely going to be checking that out. That's like the XCOM set in the Gears universe. So that should be cool. And then also, big game. This is a heavy hitter. Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to Game Pass. Unfortunately, GTA 5, well, that's a big game. I say unfortunately because most people probably love that game. I don't think there's anyone listening to me right now that really cares that that's leaving. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming in. That's a heavy hitter. Once again, Game Pass is just such a good deal. It's the best deal in gaming right now. So many good titles are coming to Game Pass or are in Game Pass.
Like Subnautica.
Sure, like Subnautica. That's up there with Game of the Year along with Red Dead Redemption 2.
I gotta tell you, a big selling point for xCloud is not having to reinstall Subnautica. I just launched it on xCloud and I got my monthly quest or weekly quest or whatever it was out of the way just by starting the game.
That was a nice 25 points for loading
Good
Subnautica.
It wasn't bad. Half an hour later, yeah.
Is that one expired?
Yes, it's I don't know if it's expired or not. It's off my list, so I'm not sure.
Mine too.
I think we need a new channel in the Discord for that one. So
For Subnautica?
Oh, one for Subnautica, one for Surviving Mars, but what I meant was one for Game Pass Quest, so we could just drop them all in there every day. We just
There
need
you go,
lots
Corey.
and lots
Make
of
it.
channels.
All the channels.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I did forget to mention that when I was talking about xCloud. The games that are on xCloud for free are really freaking good. Like, there is a lot of big name, a lot of big name and good games on xCloud. There, just if you get into the beta, which it seems like if you enter your email, you get in. That's awesome. Like, I'm looking at a list right now. There's 66 games that are just play them for free.
What are
anytime you
some of
want.
the highlights?
Well, definitely Subnautica,
Master Chief Collection.
Tracks, the train set collection, Madden NFL 20.
Gross.
How else can I sell this to this? No, I'm okay.
You're
A
not
lot of these
selling
games
me
are also in like Game Pass, but like Ace Combat 7's in there. Borderlands a Handsome Collection that just left Game Pass, but that's in xCloud. Brother, A Tale of Two Sons, a game that I know got a lot of really good reviews. I actually needed to complete the stupid thing. That left Game Pass. That's it. That's in xCloud. Nate, Children of Morta.
So good.
Let's see. Gears, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2. Whole bunch of, like I said, a whole bunch of really good games. I don't feel like going over the whole list.
I just asked for the highlights. I mean, I heard Subnautica and you sold me.
All right.
I got something important to say.
What you got important to say?
On the subject of new channels, we have in the games section a new channel for Jackbox Party Pack. For some reason, everyone's home. On my Facebook feed, even, I see a lot of people playing the Jackbox Party Packs, and not even people that I would normally consider gamers. This is a game / games for everyone and anyone. Even Sarah, who looks bored out of her mind right now, she's like, "Oh, do I get gamer score?" I'm like, "You can get gamer score. Yes, you can. You don't need a video guide for it." So basically, if you don't know the Jackbox games, each pack 1 through 6 has 5 games within. And you have a computer or your phone as the device. You go to jackbox.tv. And what's even better is that you can play with people that are not even, they don't even have to have an Xbox. I played with my sister and her family. I gave them the link to my Mixer stream, and they were able to play with us. We had a Zoom meeting up so we can get their reactions. And technology is wonderful. And then later that evening, we played with Fug and his daughter, and Volgar, and Death Dealers, and Michelle, and Brian. So, and Chewie was just going to bed. It was like 1:30 or something his time, and he was very sad that he missed it. But I think we can get a lot of people playing this. We could do it for fun, or if people need achievements, we could hang out afterwards and help people get achievements if they want. But I don't know, just a lot of fun. Hopefully people in the community will come and hang out with us.
Yeah, and just to tack on to that and make it a little bit more clear, in the Discord, there is a games channel. You do have to opt into the individual channels. That way you don't get flooded with messages. So whatever the little reaction is, react to that post, and you'll get access to that channel. So you can join in on the Jackbox streams or Halo or Borderlands or whatever.
It's a party hat.
Channels we have.
Oh, thank you. I actually just joined Jackbox now.
There we go. It's simple. It's
play.
so easy, even a Sarah can do it.
Oh, how serendipitous of you.
All right. Hashtag contest.
Yes, it is currently still the month of April, also known as High Road Vatu month. And his chosen game was Forza Horizon 4, and the bonus for him was achievement from a second numbered game in the franchise, meaning it must have a number 2. No Roman numeral garbage. Get that out of here. It's got to have numerical 2.
Did someone submit a Roman numeral?
Some people have asked me. Some people have tried.
Nate just hates Roman numerals, so he's
Some people have tried.
He can't read them, so
Exactly.
he needs to know that it's a
That's
number
what
2.
I figured. There was an underlying reason for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't like Roman numerals.
He's like, what is this IV? Is someone in the hospital getting a drip? What's going on here?
Yeah, so we don't play that here.
Took you a second, Foof.
That was so dumb.
Me
Continue,
never.
Nate.
And since it's so close to May, we might as well just tell you that our gamer tag is Chewie on Ice. And I believe he has chosen any Star Wars game.
Just
as
any.
his game. Just any. Yes.
Wow.
There's only like 4.
Yeah, so you have your pick
42.
to get your one bonus
What
point.
do you mean there's 4?
Any achievement in
probably
a Star Wars game
10, right?
will count as a bonus. And we're going to go into the bonus next week. Still have to hammer out some of the details.
That's interesting because I think they just announced today that Episode 9 is coming to Disney Plus on May the 4th as well.
Yep.
Oh, weird.
What a coincidence, right?
What a coincidence.
Real quick, just for those that listen to this day one,
That's IX, Nate.
if
That is not one. IX is not one.
if you are listening to this the day of release and you want to get in for the April Gamertag Challenge, make sure you submit them very soon, as this is basically dropping on the last day of April, and you only have a day or 2, depending upon how lazy Nate and Michelle are feeling, to tally them all up.
And Nate, I've actually updated my spreadsheet several times during the month this time.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
Look at you being proactive.
Well, it helps that my home internet doesn't restrict.
All right, next contest we're going to jump into, and this is a new one that just dropped this week. I'm pretty sure everyone was excited for this, is the TA Hangman Challenge is back.
Woo!
How are you guys?
We had a woo.
I'm pretty sure we have all signed up for this. Sarah, how are you doing on it so
I completed it within 24 hours.
far? Well then.
Wow. Okay.
So I kind of lucked out with this one. So first time I did this on TA, I messed up really bad and I ended up failing.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off, but no spoilers just in case.
Oh.
Continue.
Nope, that's fair.
Oh, stop it.
No, I won't reveal what my phrase is, but I was letting The Walking Dead New Frontier idle while I was working, and it conveniently got all but 2 of my letters in my phrase.
Wow, that's nice.
And it only left me with 2 wrong guesses, so I knew immediately what
that's not so nice.
So I knew immediately what I had to do, so I had to hop on Inside, and I got a couple of wrong letters on the way, but I had enough lies where it was fine. So I got my other missing letter, and then I finished off by firing up my 360, Life is Strange on the 360, got my last letter, and boom, done. But it does help that, again, my Walking Dead got 95% of the work done.
That's helpful. I'll be honest, I signed up for this late, and when I signed up for it, since I've only been playing Gems, you don't get many achievements with that, and I've unlocked 1 achievement so far, and basically it kind of helped. Like, as soon as it popped up, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what my game is. So today I was actually going through the alphabet, and I'm like, okay, what achievement do I want to get for this? What achievement I want to get for that? So like, I have my roadmap. I know what achievements and what games I want to play. I've tried to find the easiest ones, and I think, fingers crossed, I can get this without unlocking any achievements on the way. So I hope I can get this without getting any wrong guesses, because like I said, I know my game, but we'll see if I actually do see how it actually works. See if I can get it without messing up.
How long do we have on this?
The heck if I know. Oh, how long do we have on this? You're the one that's good with this
The
stuff.
hell if I know.
I was going to say, Nate is
I don't
good
know.
with these facts.
There are people that don't get it done on the first day. I mean, what's wrong with you people?
Well then.
Yeah.
That was a rarity for me.
The problem
It runs. Go ahead.
The problem with this type of contest is once you start it, you have to get it done. Otherwise, you can't go and play your normal stuff. So, yeah. Got it done.
I mean, I'll be honest, if I don't get it done, I don't care because I don't have all the badges, but that's me. I know you do. I know you guys got perfect, so.
I'm not perfect.
I'm in the club. I'm in the perfect club. And this challenge expires on May 8th at 1 p.m. UTC. So
Okay, so we got plenty of time.
yeah, from today, that's almost 2 weeks.
How's your Hangman going, Nate?
It's done. My Hangman is hung.
Nice.
So I started out with some very popular letters such as S and E.
RSTL and
They
E.
worked, and they worked out well for me. And then I got a T. Oh man, these letters are great. They're great for Hangman. If you haven't tried them, you should. And once I got those first 3 letters, they were all hits. And then I knew what my game, or damn it, I knew what my Hangman phrase was. And I started going for that. And I accidentally hit, I think, 2 achievements on the way in Jeopardy. I was just going for a quick one. I didn't really look at all the other achievements and realized, oh, poopies. I popped another one along the way. And then in Miles and Kilo or Kylo, I don't know how you want to say that, I ended up popping another achievement by accident, which I knew about. I looked right at it. On the way to my next achievement, I looked right at it and I did it anyway. But so 2 strikes out of 7. And yeah, got it done and I'm happy. I actually used nope, not going to say it. So yeah, it was great. About you, Al?
After he's done typing?
So right off the bat, I started, I had Genesis going while the Hangman started, so I got a letter A done, which was there. And then I started up a lovely rat called Red Bow. You know that one, Sarah? You look confused. It's like
I haven't played it.
Okay, it's like my big sister and
I haven't played that one
those
either.
RPG Maker type ones. Okay, anyway. So I said to myself, I'm going to play this naturally, and if I get like 3 mistakes, then I'll stop playing it. So I wound up getting 2 wrong off the bat, and then I got 2 right, and then I got a T, which was wrong. And then, yeah, this is very exciting to talk about. But anyway, I did a lot of Red Bow, but I got like 4 or 5 letters, and I still didn't know my phrase. So then I had a 3-letter word where I could reason out what that was, and I said, okay, I'll go for that one. So I booted up Hidden Through Time, and I was going for a vowel. And of course, I did the same as Nate. I wound up getting an accidental achievement for getting 50 objectives found. And then eventually, I figured out what my phrase was, and I played some Momodora. I played some WWE. I played some Rascals. And then there was another game similar to Red Bow called Just Ignore Them. And I looked at all the achievements left that I had in that game, and they were all ones in my phrase. So I said, okay, let me go for this one achievement. What I didn't realize, because I was playing without a guide, is that you have to do some specific things in order to get some other things to appear later. So this is another case where not using a guide bit me in the butt. And I was just yelling at Fug for using a guide on this game. So I wound up having to start all over using the guide and picking the right choices and getting the things I need. So yeah, the thing I like about Hangman is it does get you to go to some games that you haven't played in a while, dust them off.
Yeah.
Got some SNK in there, and like I said, some Rascals, stuff that I normally wouldn't pick up and play. But that one's done. I'm in the 100% club as well after getting my 15 out of 30 in crab. And it sounds like the TA contest team has something ready to go as soon as this one's done as well. I believe they're saying they're just going to keep banging them out, right?
That's what I heard.
That's what it sounds like.
That was the rumor.
Oh,
That's pretty cool for you guys that like doing this.
These are all welcome distractions.
Fun contests for us all. Which, real quick, Al, how many challenges does this make now that you have? How many community badges? That's what. Only 13?
12,
Yeah, I think it's 13. Yep.
Really? Huh. I thought there was more than that.
It's not that many, because ones like UHH don't count. Well, actually, there might have been one where you had to get.
Maybe
5
that's
or
why
10.
it doesn't seem as money.
One of them.
There was one for
You guys
one for UHH.
You guys will scoff.
One
I only have 5.
I'm
You
not gonna
probably have more
scoff
than
at
me.
you.
Wouldn't scoff.
Just a polite hiccup.
Yeah, I got 2.
Which ones?
Hangman and
Hangman
12
number
Days
1?
of Christmas 2018.
Nice. I don't know. Corey said he likes the spelling ones. I really don't. I'd rather... I guess this one kind of counts as a spelling one, but I'd rather this than spelling out a 20-letter phrase that everyone else is doing.
No, I've always enjoyed the 12 Days of Christmas ones because it's a variety of things. I did enjoy the crab. And I was just noticing I actually have 2 for Christmas 2019. I got that bonus badge.
Yeah.
Were you not supposed to get it?
I didn't think I did anything to qualify for it. So
If you got an achievement that was considered, what was it, long, time consuming?
the coffee one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had no idea I got this until I looked at the page.
Nice. All right, well, let's move into hashtag brag camp. In completions, Vulgar Latin has completed 300 games, and Matriarch has completed 450.
In completion percentage, Death Dealers has reached a new milestone of 56%, and Seamus McLimey has a completion percentage of 60%, and Mr. pTart has a new milestone with a 76% completion.
Wow, you still put up with this?
I know. He's working on it, though.
Is he?
He actually is. He's a bit of a completionist, just not as hardcore as I am. So streaks, stakes, whatever you want to call them. Ben L, 72, is on a 10-day streak. Rocker Dude, 5012, is also on a 10-day win streak. Vulgar Latin is more than doubled that at a 25-day achievement streak. Mr. pTart again. Wow, go him. He is just tearing it up. He is currently on a 43-day achievement streak. L, which is his personal best.
I'm very proud of him. If he had gone to 69, I'd be even more proud.
He is on his way to 69.
All right.
Let's check back in next week.
That math doesn't compute.
I'm
It's an achievement podcast, not a math podcast.
I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce that correctly.
Andy Pants. Andy Pants number 2. Ahizo.
Ahizo, thank you. He or she is on
I think.
is on a 100.
They.
Yes, they are on a 100-day achievement win streak.
All right, Retro Chief in the house. 5,000 achievements won. Death Dealers. 6,000 achievements won. pTart has 14,000 achievements won. And her arch nemesis, Facial Lafleur, has 24,000 achievements won. Wow.
He's not my arch nemesis. He's just lame.
Oh. Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Speak for yourself.
Wanda's husband, the illustrious NBA Kirkland, has 1.25 million TA score. And Retro Chief 1969 and his chair are now in the top 50 of the North Carolina TA leaderboard for Connect games. Uh-oh.
Nice.
I believe I forgot about our Connect challenge. Still got a couple days.
Well, we know what you're doing in the next few days.
Sweating.
My chair. I could have had my chair. I'm gonna dance after this.
Have fun with that. All right, so on to our final segment of the show. Nate's favorite is the Xbox trivia.
Oh, we're doing that, huh?
Yes, we are doing that. So, my question for the week.
You did well last week.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. My question for the week. What is the best-selling Xbox One game? So it's the Xbox One only. Is it A, Halo 5, B, Forza Horizon 3, C, Rise of the Tomb Raider, or D, Madden 17?
Wow.
Best-selling Xbox One game.
FuFuCuddilyPoof. Is that Madden one a throw?
Is it?
There is throwing in that game.
I mean, she's not wrong.
That's what else would you do with a football?
Kick it.
Spike it.
All right, Elle, what is your answer?
I have no idea.
Neither did Nate. He just guessed as well.
I'll just go with that one. I don't remember what it was. That sounds wrong. But I'll let Nate catch up.
So that was a complete guess. He doesn't even know what he guessed. All right.
I can't remember the 4. I've already forgotten the 4.
So, Elle and Sarah have both guessed Halo 5, and Nate has guessed Madden 17.
Gross.
I didn't say I liked it.
Halo 5.
Yes!
Of course it is.
Wow. I'm
Nate,
shocked.
I'm so sorry. So I'm going off of Wikipedia, and I found another site whose name I forgot now that seemed to back these up, just to give an idea of what the numbers are. Halo 5 has sold 5 million. Forza Horizon 3 has sold 2.5 million.
I knew that had to be the second one.
Rise of the Tomb Raider sold 1 million. And I accidentally skipped Madden NFL of 2.02 million.
So Halo still has that staying power, huh?
Yep.
And they've been staggering those releases. It's nice. I think people still play 5. The multiplayer is still supported.
Yeah, from all accounts, the Halo 5 multiplayer is actually really good. Not my favorite. I personally don't care for it, but what you gonna do?
Brother.
All right. Well, with that, it's another episode in the books. Thank you all for listening. You can find us on all the places. It's all in the show notes. Read the show notes. Elle and Nate does a lot of work for those. They're very good. And Elle gets grumpy if you don't give him feedback on his notes. So at him and tell
Nobody
him you read
like
the
my
show
Tiger
notes.
King show notes.
Thank you all for listening. Class is dismissed.
Bye.
Bye, all you cats and kittens. Love, Corey Baskin.
Corey Baskin?
Took you a second.
And now, Deep Thoughts by Jason Kelly.
Why are iPhone chargers not called apple juice? Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of Back to Back. I believe this is the 4th installment, being the 4th month of the year, and so we're just really plugging along on our backlog of non-backwards compatible games. I'll get it straight. So I'm joined today by 2 wonderful individuals. I am joined today by Matriarch.
Hello, everyone.
Did I say it right?
Matriarch. It doesn't have that extra I in it. Don't stress it. M is good. Michelle is good. I don't think anyone...
Man, I usually just default to M. I don't know. I was just feeling it there, and I just went for it with the full name. But yeah, you're just
I
M.
find that matriarch is used by people that are like very new to the communities that I like travel in, because that's when they're like, I don't know if I should use a first name, and I don't really know how to pronounce this because it's not a real word. But they get over it pretty quick.
So I have no excuses.
That's all right.
So.
M is good. Hey.
It's the first time I've ever mispronounced something on the show. This is insane. Also joining today is a very hairy guy, and he is our most loving Wookiee out there. And so, Chewie, what's up, man?
I'm afraid you pronounced that wrong.
Is it
Chewie?
Chewie?
We've all been saying it wrong all this time.
Oh, man.
Is that like a Wookiee to English
Lost in
translation?
translation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that must be the dialect of those little tiny Wookiees over there on that one planet.
Ewoks?
Yeah, those are like baby Wookiees, right? Okay, so we're moving on to our next episode here. So, let's see. Let's start it off with a nice recap to kind of send off into the universe our March picks. So Mr. Chewie, why don't you start us off? What did you get done in March?
Well, for March, Elroy, I'm glad you asked. I played the wonderful Saw 2, Flesh and Blood. No, just to be clear, that's not flesh and blood in the colon. That's an actual colon, right?
Yeah, that would be a reason to go see the doctor.
Something in that
I think that's going to be
2 Point Hospital or whatever, the Game Pass game. That might be a chapter in there.
There you go. Oh, man, yeah. I haven't cracked that one open yet, but it is worth a boatload of TA, so I may have to.
I mentioned before that I am a bit of a horror film nerd, a bit of a horror film fan, and I've seen, I think, all of the Saw films. Maybe not the last one, which I think is probably better left not watched anyway, from what I hear.
Did you see the one that Shaq was in where he couldn't make a free throw or something like that, and Dr. Phil was in there with him? I forget what that was. Man, it's like a takeoff of it or something. I think it was like Scary Movie
waiting for the
or something.
punchline. Oh, okay, no.
no,
Like, is this what you
the
dream
punchline
about
is,
at night? Like, what are we getting to? Your dark confessions?
y'all don't know
Yeah,
what I'm
there's a
talking
scary
about.
movie. I can't remember which one it is. It's a scary movie 4,
And
5.
yeah, Shaq can't make a free throw, and so yeah, it was making fun of that. It was topical at the time. I think that was that the 90s. Oh, maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
if for anyone not familiar with the film series, they center around this serial killer who entraps his victims in these elaborate puzzle death traps, which are all supposed to be reflective of whatever sin or crime he thinks they've committed, and they have to kind of overcome their flaws or their weaknesses in order to survive. Or in some cases, someone else has to do it for them. And over the film series, you realize that all of these things are all happening kind of in this twisty-turny scenario where he's managed to basically kidnap a whole town's worth of people and is torturing them in a warehouse somewhere, simultaneously with all of these various intricate storylines as they all connect to each other. It's completely ludicrous. It makes absolutely no sense.
Isn't he also suffering from a terminal disease while he's doing all
I think
this?
he basically dies in about the 4th film.
Okay.
He does have accomplices who help him. He ropes people in along the way to kind of... They believe in his mission of punishing people for their wicked ways. But...
What's the deal with the puppet then?
I think it's just a way to creep people out. I mean, if you woke up,
maybe it's just not good on tape
if you
or
woke
something.
up and you had your head in a vice and your hands were nailed to the table, a puppet on a TV is really, really, really gonna get that home, isn't it? That real feeling of dread.
It's true.
It's definitely more scary than some old terminally ill guy named Fred saying, "Hey, man, you want to play a game?"
I think the idea is that he's just supposed to disguise his identity, but I don't think he really needs to do that, seeing as he's pretty much a hermit who lives in a warehouse and has no contact with the outside world.
All right.
Well, I've never actually seen one of these films, so did people actually get out? So would there be any harm to them seeing who he actually was? Does anybody actually survive?
Very rarely, and even if they survive one film, it's very, very likely they will not survive the next one. People don't get out.
Can't leave any witnesses, man.
Speaking of all this, then, because it is such a large film franchise with all these kind of connected storylines in some way through this one guy, where does the video game fit? Is this supposed to be a retelling of one of the movies? Is it loosely based on them, or is this just sort of another layer of all the other stuff going on?
So Saw 2, the game, is nothing to do with Saw 2, the film. It's a sequel to Saw 1, the game, which itself wasn't tied to Saw 1, the film.
Right.
They are parallel.
Oh, makes perfect sense.
They're parallel storylines, but I don't think they're considered canon storylines. This one has a very familiar setup with someone waking up in a trap and being told what they need to do to escape, and then discovering that they are part of a series of other traps with other people connected to them, which they have to save. In this case, it's the son of one of the detectives who was in a few of the films, played by Danny Glover of Lethal Weapon fame. And it's his son. Unfortunately, spoiler alert. Wait, no, hang on. Unfortunately, he came to a sticky end in the films. Spoiler alert.
There you go.
So you play his son, who is moving through various areas of this warehouse and coming across various victims that Saw has put in these elaborate traps. As you go along, the story kind of uncovers that you're part of some kind of corrupt police crime drug ring type thing, and all of these people are connected to it. And you are a journalist who has been trying to expose this crime ring, so it's up to you to save these people or not save them, as it were. Unfortunately, the game fails at being a horror game. It fails at being a puzzle game. It mostly just fails at being a game.
No, this is...
That's
Saw
a ringing endorsement
1
here.
as well, right?
Yes.
And we talked about it a little bit the last time that we were all here. You didn't seem to have that much of a condemning sort of attitude toward the first one, so this game was significantly worse somehow?
Well, that might just be because I don't remember it very well, but that might be because it's just quite unremarkable.
Recency bias. I understand.
Yeah, I seem to remember it involves lots of running around a warehouse, which this one also does. Solving various puzzles, I think, which this one does have as well.
Are you sure?
And there is.
Are you sure you didn't play the same
It's
game?
possible. I mean, all of the films are basically the same film, but increasingly ludicrous, with increasingly ludicrous plot twists. So the games are kind of following that pattern. What's different about this one, though, is that in the first game there was some elements of combat. There is that in this game, but it's entirely quick time events. So a guy will run up to you with a bat, and you have to hit X to hit him in the face. So there's no real combat.
That's the best way to disarm someone with a bat?
Yeah, hit X to hit him with your spike nail bat directly in the face.
Oh, you have a bat too then. Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry.
You also come across lots of traps throughout the warehouse. So sometimes when you open a door, you'll notice a weight is dropping, and you have to hit a quick time event in order for a shotgun not to blast you in the face, or a saw or an axe to swing down and hit you in the chest. Or there's tripwires. Again, if you're running down a corridor, you might suddenly see a screen, an X pop up or a B pop up, and you have to hit that to jump over them. So it's loads and loads of quick time events, which are pretty Marmite at the best of times. What am I saying? They're not Marmite. Everyone hates them. So it's pretty, and they're very repetitive as well. So there's no real challenge or skill involved in them. And then there's the puzzles themselves. So in order to progress through the warehouse, a lot of doors are locked behind puzzles. As well, the traps that you come across with the victims in are also big, elaborate puzzles you have to solve. And you would think that Jigsaw, having perfected the art of these elaborate traps and puzzles, would come up with something really creative. Unfortunately, he hasn't. What he's got is lights out. I don't know if you're familiar with that puzzle. Yeah, press a light and the two adjacent ones will turn on and off depending on which one you pressed. Really creative. Is that the same?
Because I'm looking at the achievement list here, and there's a whole lot of achievements about freeing somebody from a trap. Are they all lights out puzzles?
They are
or
either a lights out puzzle, one of those pipe connector or circuit connector puzzles where you have two colors and you have to line them up with the circuits, spinning the corners and the turns and the straight ones. There's basically 4 or 5 different puzzles that are all along those vein. There's the gears one, where you've got different slots and you have to put the gears in the right place to make them all spin.
Okay.
It sounds like it was made by the same people at Artifacts Mundi.
Yeah, it is basically that. Those Kinect games, those Dr. Kawashima brain training games.
Yes.
This is what I imagine would happen if Dr. Kawashima had a psychotic break and set up a warehouse and filled it full of his fiendish puzzles.
Can we prove it's not him?
I mean,
That's a good point.
no one. Yeah, who is behind the puppet? No one knows.
There you go.
So yeah, basically, actually, I think you would really enjoy Saw 2 because, like I say, it completely fails as a horror game. It is basically just a puzzle game, and the puzzles just repeat themselves ad nauseum. There's no variety. They get a little bit harder, a little bit more tricky, but guess what? You can just pause the game, right? You can just pause the game, look at the lights or the pipes in front of you, figure it out, unpause it, and off you go. And that's really handy because there are a load of achievements for doing them within a certain time. Beating a time score for an easy or a hard difficulty. And again, you can literally just pause it, solve it, unpause it, done.
That actually gets to a question I wanted to ask you. So just looking quickly at TA. So as we discussed last month, I played the first Saw, and I remember at the time, and I mentioned this last month as well, I'm pretty sure, thinking it was very much like if you took Silent Hill and gave it no development budget, you would get Saw 1. That's how the game felt in a lot of ways. And it sounds like Saw 2 is similar to some degree, but there's a not a huge difference, but there's a pretty substantial difference in the ratio between the two. They both clock in at an 8 to 10 hour game according to TA's estimates, but the first Saw sits at about a 1.2 and the second one sits closer to a 1.6. Do you think it has to do with those time puzzles, or are there other things that are a little more difficult that people should be aware of?
No, absolutely. I think it's those time puzzles. There's a lot of collectibles, so you've got audio tapes, case files, puzzle pieces, and those puppets, the Billy puppets, hidden behind certain puzzle doors. Collect all of those, you get all the achievements, and there's a lot of them, so you really need to follow a guide. I'd imagine that doesn't
Is there
help.
a guide on TA?
Yes, there's a pretty good walkthrough that I was following that helps with everything. I could tell you who that's written by if you give me 1 second, so we can give appropriate credit. It's
While you're looking at
Starlight,
that.
who's no longer, I think, a member of the site, but Starlight, who's quite a famous walkthrough writer on the site. Yes.
So I'm looking at the ones the tougher achievements on there, and you're right, it is all the best times, and so there's 2 times listed. There's normal and insane mode. So I'm assuming you have to play through the game twice.
It's brilliant because you have chapter select, and most of the puzzles. So the puzzles repeat themselves and they appear lots of different times. So you could beat the best time on any version of it, but the easiest one is always the first one you've encountered, and it's literally super basic, super simple. And most of them you can solve in about 5 seconds, when the best time is like 15 or 20. So what you can do is you can just load up the chapter that they first appear on in chapter select once you finish the game, and then go back and try and get those times. And you can also do that for any of the collectibles you've missed as well, so it's quite generous. There are 2 endings as well, but similarly there is an exploit where so the story is structured in this really weird, pretty crappy way. The first chapter you play as this guy called Campbell. Campbell's a dude. He's a drug addict. He wakes up. He's in he's got to cut his eye open to get the key out from this trap he's in. It's pretty gross. You play the first chapter as Campbell, and then the chapter ends, and then you switch perspectives to the other character called Michael, who is the one who is Detective Tapp's son from the films, and you play the whole rest of the game as Michael. 6 or 7 hours worth. You completely forget that this Campbell guy even exists. I'd forgotten because I played the first chapter years ago, right? And I hadn't come back to the game. I forgot he was even part of it. And then at the very end of the game, it switches again once you've finished everything that Michael needs to finish, and everyone around you is either dead or you've saved them. Spoiler alert, they're all dead. Spoiler alert. Doesn't really matter, the story is nothing. And then it switches back to Campbell, and depending on something that you did back in chapter 1 is whether you get the one ending or another. Completely, and I've completely forgotten why. And that determines who survives, Campbell or Michael. And at this point, if Campbell survives, you're like, wait, who? What? I can't even remember this guy. He's got no relation.
Seems very unfulfilling.
Yeah, he's got no relation to the rest of the storyline and all the other characters that you've just spent the last 6 or 7 hours playing through. But what you can then do is, rather than having to play the whole game again, is use a chapter select version for the last chapter. And there's a default option on that which says who survives. So as long as you do the alternative one in your first playthrough, then you can do the chapter select and it defaults to the other ending. So you don't have to do that full second playthrough. It's quite a sneaky exploit. As long as you do that, then you get everything you need. But yeah, overall, pretty shoddy game. And I will say one more thing. Everyone sucks in this game. Everyone. Every single
just
character.
Bad human beings,
you find yourself rooting for Jigsaw, which I think you do in pretty much most of the films as well. Is obviously he's capturing people who are pretty scummy people in some respects. But these people are like the absolute worst. Without fail, at the end of each chapter you save someone from their big elaborate trap. And the first thing they do is to tell you to go screw yourself and run away.
Awesome.
No, they're so ungrateful. It's so rude. I've just risked my own life to save them for no particular gain of my own. And they just basically give me the finger and flee. Absolutely awful.
Well, speaking of the finger, how'd you do, man?
Oh man, I smashed it.
Oh, yeah?
I smashed it right out of the park.
Nice.
So I think we have our first official back-to-back completion.
Very nice.
Oh, man. Well done.
It's not a super hard game. It's not a super long game. So I started the month with 10 achievements, 150 game score, 191 TA. Like I say, I played the first chapter or so. And I finished it at 50 achievements, 1K game score, and 1589 TA. All done.
Awesome, man.
Done.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Tick.
All right. Well, that is a wonderful job. I am sure that it will be matched, no doubt, by Miss M here. So, how about you? How did your March go?
Well, it absolutely will not be matched because I called an audible and did not play the game I said I was going to play. So I had said last month I wanted to try my hand at Venetica, and as everyone knows by now, the world's kind of gone stupid in the last few weeks, and I really just did not feel like sitting down and playing a game where it felt like I was forcing myself through playing the game. So it was a little bit of a conundrum. I didn't want to show up this week this recording with nothing played. So I started looking through what I had, and that included doing a pretty thorough cleaning of different cabinets and counters and spaces where I had games. Now, keep in mind, all that's also in the back of my head, Elroy and I had a challenge last month for Chewie's challenge, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to beat him because I'm not super competitive that way. But I did want to make him sweat a little bit, so I wanted to keep it within 1,000 and then play an easy-ish game toward the end of the month so that he'd have his hand forced to do a little more, garbage playing. That said, again, I'm searching around. I know somewhere in my apartment, somewhere in my small New York City apartment, there is a copy of Nickelodeon Dance 2. I don't know where it is. I still don't know where it is. But while doing this cleaning, I found 4 or 5 unopened Xbox 360 games that I must have bought for G-Task 2012 or so and just never got around to playing. Ever. So I still have these unopened games. Like I've got Game of Thrones, I've got Air Conflict Secret War, got a second copy of Rock Revolution for some reason. I didn't even know. But even going through those, I'm like, all right, they're not on my tags. They're not backlog in that sense, but they're backlog. They're games I purchased I should play. Still didn't really feel like any of it. So I'm still looking through, and a couple years ago, I had gotten one of my brothers, the Peanuts movie game. Because he likes playing games, but he really doesn't like playing stuff that's going to challenge too much. He just likes to play a sort of like a mindless kind of thing. And I had it. So I was like, this is supposed to be a relatively easy game. It's probably something I could bang out in pretty short order to, make Elroy feel a little bit of heat, but it definitely won't catch up. So that's what I'm going to play. So that's why I wound up with playing the Peanuts movie, Snoopy's Great Adventure. And it's pretty terrible. It's a fairly recent release. I should have pulled up that information before. If you give me a second, I will.
2015.
Yeah, so
November 2015, so late 2015.
Yeah, and it has a stack on Xbox One as well. Because I was thinking, hey, if this is not so bad, maybe that's I'll go pick it up on the one. Nah, I'm good. It's Snoopy's Grand Adventure, by the way. So it is a game. It's a basic platformer. Came out right after the Peanuts movie came out. You do play as Snoopy. There are several levels throughout the game, and you are tasked with going through these levels and finding jelly beans, which are the game's collectibles. There are 300 jelly beans per level. The trick is, though, that you cannot collect all these jelly beans on your first run through the game. So it's very much structured like a Lego game would be. You eventually get different outfits that give you different powers. And until you have all those outfits unlocked, which you won't until the last chapter of the game, you cannot do all the collectibles. So you do have to play through the game twice. I wound up finishing the month with 900 of the game's 1000 gamer score because I have not gone back and collected all the jelly beans as yet. All of that said, if you are looking for a sort of mindless, easy game in the vein of something like a Paw Patrol, that maybe, you have a child in the house who might play, or you just like playing very basic level platformers, it's fine. It does that. It's not functionally defective in any way, but it will wind up taking you something like 8 hours to complete, and that's if you're like really mainlining going through the stages the first time without trying to collect everything. I get a little OCD and was still trying to collect them all, so every stage in the game except for like 3, I have 280 of these stupid jelly beans, so I still have to go back and replay everything. But yeah, that was it. I just was not feeling Venetica this month. So pivoted a little bit. So it was not on my tag before. I added the 21 achievements to my backlog, but I finished the month with 20 of them. So all told, I still raised that completion percentage just a little bit for my non-backwards compatible titles.
Now, maybe it's because we just talked about Saw, so maybe I'm in that mindset, but it seems a little sinister here. I'm just looking at the achievements, and it says there's an achievement for finding all the kids, and then the very next one listed is an achievement called Chop, Chop, Chop. So who hit these kids? What's going on? Is this a kidnapping ring going on, or what's going on with this?
So the game has, I think, 5 worlds, and each world, the last level of the world is you find one of the Peanuts gang. So the first world is Peppermint Patty, and then the second one I think you find Linus, and so that's all that means. It's just that you encounter those kids at the end of each stage. Most of the achievements are for just getting through the levels or finding the different costumes, which you will find naturally as you play. There are a couple, again, like the jelly beans one, that's a headache. The Chop 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 achievement is just for hovering for 5 seconds. You can do a double jump and hold A, and if Snoopy's in his base look, he will hover. So that's all that one is for. It's nothing super nefarious, but if it was Chop 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 in the Saw 2 list, and that's what the unlock condition was, I'd be a little concerned. But yeah, that's all that is really. There's one other sort of tricky achievement. There are not really boss fights in the game. For the most part, the last level is like kind of running away from something until you get to the end of the stage and then you see the kid. But the first level involves using sort of seesaws to fling baseballs at like a wooden mask version of Peppermint Patty. And that one, there is an achievement for getting through that battle without getting hit once. It's not super difficult, but I think it might be other than the jelly beans, the highest ratio one in the game, which I think means it's about a 1.3 or 1.35. This is sort of the old school version of an easy gamer score game. It's 6 to 8 hours. It's not really going to test your mettle and your skill as a gamer, but you're still going to have to put some time into it.
So again, I may be in the Saw mindset still, but you mentioned Peppermint Patty, and I see that there's an achievement called Deep Dark Jungle, and with what appears to be maybe a marijuana leaf on the achievement.
Well, I mean, you can read into that
Is
as you will.
is that Peppermint's is that Peppermint's deep dark secret in the jungle?
Very possible. The Peppermint Patty's stage is a series of jungle stages. So that's I like the Parisian Underground. I think is the one where you're playing entirely as like the version of Snoopy, where he's on top of his house and he's a fighter pilot. So they're all just themed that way. There's the Bunny Temple, which is just it's just thematic versions of the different stages. That's all.
Okay. Awesome. Well done.
So, Peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a bit of a UK-US thing here because, Peanuts is a kind of a real Americana piece of famous comic strip. And obviously we have it over here and we've seen it, but it probably really is more relatable to you guys over there. But from what I know, it kind of became the Snoopy cartoon, as in he wasn't the main kind of character, but then he became the runaway kind of success and became the center. And then in that way it becomes kind of more kiddie friendly, because Peanuts actually works for kind of adults as well. Is the game more leaning towards the kind of old school Peanuts with that kind of almost somber kind of tone, or is it pure Snoopy kiddie silliness?
No, it's definitely the latter. It's pure Snoopy. You play as Snoopy, and all the costumes you get are different characters that Snoopy has inhabited over the years in the comic strips. So there's one character, Joe Cool, where he wears a red t-shirt and has sunglasses on. And when you have that costume on, any enemies you encounter turn into blocks of ice. And I think he can double jump as well. So they're all kind of the typical, if you've ever seen the run of the Peanuts comic book or comic strip, different personas that he would adopt over time. And it is based on the most recent Peanuts movie, where it does still have those more, like you said, kind of somber overtones. It's more about teaching a lesson than being just goofy. But it's definitely, it's meant for kids. It's not meant to teach any other great overarching lesson. You just go through the stages, you get all the kids back together, the credits roll, and it's done. I mean, you're collecting jelly beans. How intense can it be?
It sounds like in the U.S. it's definitely salted, and then it's unsalted over in England, I would imagine. So, excellent job. We'll keep it rolling here.
Yeah, so...
I guess it's my turn, man.
I'm very curious to hear how you did this month.
Oh, well, last time we recorded, it was kind of late in the month, and I already done half the game. And so it was so tempting to just, it was a good effort, 500 gamer score. But then I thought, no, I think it was around that time Chewie had said he had completed his, and I was like, man, I got to do a little better. And you were almost done with yours and all that stuff. So yeah, I went back to it, and I muscled through 15 more, well, actually more than that. It's more like 20 more game shows. So I did Family Game Night 3, which is just the load screens it just takes forever. And so the achievements are super grindy. You have to basically play everything 25 times, and then there's one little final middle finger at the end where you have to play it 50 times for basically the completion. I just didn't do that. I wasn't feeling it after 25. So I did my time. I did my 25. Unlocked all those achievements. Were playing everything 25 times, and I'm not even sure what I ended up with. Do y'all have it pulled up? I have no idea what I ended up with.
I do have it pulled up here.
Okay.
You finished the month with 610 gamer score, so that was over 31 achievements and worth 1,147 TA. So it looks like what happened, because like you said, you had about 500, if I recall correctly, when we recorded last month.
Well, I thought I did. Oh, no, I think that was Family Game Night 3.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I didn't have the 500 last time we talked. No. Okay. Yeah, because I did most of these. Yeah, I got most of these.
Wait, did you do the game show or did you do 3? 3 was 2 months ago? This is why it gets confusing.
Yes. Game show was 2 months ago. That was my February game, and then I had so much fun with number 3 that I just kept the party going. So I did number 4 in March.
That's right.
So,
Okay, so let's look up 4.
Yeah.
I have a side story while I'm looking up game night 4 to see how you did. So in my cleaning of my place, as many of you listening to this are probably aware, it's currently the crab competition is currently running on True Achievements, which is basically the random to-do list, but run officially through True Achievements. And I got an achievement from Hasbro Family Game Night 3 on there. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm totally down for this. I have not had that game since 2011 because I had it from Gamefly. So couldn't do anything in it.
Oh, yeah.
But I discovered I have, for some reason, 2 copies of Family Game Night 4. So go figure.
Well, the which one on 3 was it? Was it one of the terrible ones, or was it Mousetrap?
I think it was to unlock all of the suits, which I think you have to play each game 7 times. So
yeah, that's one of the more manageable ones.
Yeah,
so,
it's not too bad.
Yeah, So with Family Game Night 4, I
got it.
Okay,
you finished the month with 880 gamer score in it. So
that's
you
much
put on
better.
another 380. That's 27 of the game's achievements for 1400 TA.
Well, when I started the month, I hadn't played it at all. So
yeah, that's a very very
so
solid pickup.
So I got the nice 880, respectable, but so 25 games. I had to do 25 for one of the crab achievements on my list. It was for playing Sorry Sliders, which is aptly named because it is a really sorry game. And I got to where I streamlined it. It was quicker to lose, actually. So if you're looking at grinding this out, don't try to win, just try to lose. And it actually makes it faster. And I have a real issue with the money machine at the end. So you finish all these events, and you get to the end, and you win cards as you go through it. And so what kind of grading system this is just totally asinine. So there's like this mysterious card that is worth more than the other cards, they tell you. And so when that card makes an appearance, it basically means you automatically win. You could have won just one card as opposed to your opponent who won like 9, 10, 11 cards. I don't understand why they made this card worth $17,000, where all the other cards are worth like $800. Big ones like $1,200, and so they make it worth $17,000. I don't understand this grading system. I would be so mad if I was playing this legitimately against somebody and they got one card and they got $17,000 and I won everything else, just totally whooped them. And I don't know. So, and then the money machine itself is not a very good device. It's like this ATM looking thing, and you put the card in and then it just spews money all over the place. It makes it rain and then it like combines all the winnings of all the contestants on the floor. So I don't know if they're supposed to sort it out later. It totally did not make sense. So if you're playing this game, when you get to the money machine, see if it makes sense to you. It made no sense to me why the machine was making it rain and all their money was getting intermingled and why one card was worth $17,000. I don't know. It was a hot mess. So, but other than that, the games got old fast. I couldn't get to 25 fast enough. I basically did it while I was doing something else, and I just kind of mashed the button, and I had it memorized at some point. There's very little interaction that you have to do with it when you get in the zone on it. So yeah, it's over. I'm glad.
So you don't foresee yourself, because it looks like what you have left is really just cleanup, right? You have to still play 50 episodes of the game show and 1,500 points in Scrabble, which is a cumulative achievement, right. And then a couple other odds and ends. But you don't think you're going to go back and ever clean that up? This is like you just put a bow on it and it's done. Gentleman's 880.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 achievements I don't have, so that means if it appears on my RTDL or some other contest 4 times, then I'll probably get it done. But otherwise, it's not going to happen. Well, I guess if they put the 50 one on there, that'll knock out 3 of them right there. So, So, no, I have no interest in going back to this game, and I'm glad there's not a Family Game Night 5. So, there you have it.
There you go.
Whew. Yeah.
But I have a question for you, though, now.
Okay.
Are you, like, moving forward, now that you've put Family Game Nights behind you, What's coming
Yes.
up in the future? Because this has been your go-to. This is what you've been doing for the pretty much the entirety of our meeting to do this. So what does April bring for Elroy?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's a lot of factors at play right now, and I can't just pick one of these little nice easy games to knock out. Not this month, because I got a moose on my tail. Koosh has challenged me in Chewie's nice little challenge to a TA battle. I suppose I know why he challenged me to a TA battle, because I have a 1.4 ratio. I'm currently moving up. I used to have a 1.34, and it's gone up, I think, to 1.4 in the time I've been in this other stupid contest that I railed upon in the last segment I did, with which is the G test. And I have to score. Here's the basic bottom line. I have to score 5,500 TA difference, not gamer score, not true achievement score, but difference. I have to score at least close to 6,000 a week if I want to stay alive in individual. This is very much outside of my comfort zone. But I'm making it work. But anyway, so in the spirit of that, I'm going back to some 360 stuff that actually yields a nice ratio, which is obviously a Kinect-based game. So I have chosen Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2012.
Very nice.
I just finished Your Shape Fitness Evolved, the other one, where my plush rhino basically burned 10,000 calories. He's looking a little slimmer over there, but got all kinds of achievements for me. So I'm hoping that some of those tactics still move over to this one. It looked like this one was a little more complicated. They put a little more thought into the game, where I have to do different classes and stuff like that. And there's also there's some for burning calories, so I'm assuming my rhino can tag in for me during those. Probably during the classes too. I assume you just have to do the class. You don't actually have to, score a certain amount. So I'm envisioning starting the class and then putting my chair with my rhino in it in front of it and having it do all the work for the classes. But I'm not sure if that works or not. But all in all, I think it's worth like 4,500 TA or something like that. So that would get me through almost a week, maybe, assuming I can get all of them. See, it is 4,400 TA. So that means it's a nice net of 3,400, which is still not 5,500 TA difference. So, but it'll help me get there. And, yeah, there's all kinds of achievements for 1,500 calories, 3,000 calories, 6,000 calories, 15, 20, 100,000. And those are some pretty big ticket ones. So I'll probably hit those first and then move on and see if I can find any other big ones there that would not hurt me in my battle against Koosh and also assist me in the other battle that I'm in. So that's why I chose it. And I guess we'll see what happens with it.
You do have another option, right? Have you ever heard the phrase, let the Wookiee win?
You're not even in individual.
A team, though, Yeah.
But I just
let it go.
Think of all those sad faces of Brer Tom and the Possum folk. I mean, just think of Brer Rocker's sad face if I just called it quits. I mean,
I think that would be.
Do you want
majestic.
that on your? Do you want that on your conscience?
I look forward to the panel when he discusses it.
Yeah, Elroy, he just quit, man. I don't know what the hell got
he let the Wookiee win.
Oh, but yeah.
So, with Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2012, so I've done a lot of Your Shape Fitness Evolved, not that you could tell if you ever saw a picture of me, but I did once upon a time. And I actually, when I played the first game, I did completely legit. I did those 10,000 calories by standing in front of my Kinect and doing whatever exercises. And a way to celebrate this, Elle and our other friend Phil chipped in and got me 2012. And so I know a little bit about it. It's been a little while since I've played it, and it's actually going to tie in very nicely to what I've set up to do next month. So I'm going to talk through this and then talk about what I'm going to do next month. Keep in mind, if you're playing it, you can't really just run it. There are several achievements for doing things like earning 3 stars in workouts over 4 weeks, or setting up a workout plan over a couple weeks. And you do have to go in and select the different classes to do and select the different runs. So while you can get the calorie achievements, and those are kind of the more weighty ones, obviously, and so those would be the most beneficial, the game actually is time locked in a way that you couldn't just let it run for the week and get all of the score, because there are things you have to do and manipulate to make sure that you get everything done. So just as a heads up, if you hadn't really looked at the list closely yet.
Yeah, it's my rhino's up for the challenge.
I'm sure he is. Just remember, you have to select the things for him. His little rhino arms are probably not as picked up by the Kinect as easily as yours might be.
Oh man! So you said you tying it in. So what are you doing then?
So I decided for the month of April, because we are all on this sort of lockdown. Everyone listening to the news, and you know very well that I'm in New York City, which is kind of been hit very hard by all this. So we're all in New York pause right now, and make sure to stay at home and everything. So I decided I had put on my original list, one of my games on there was Racketeer. So I am going to do that, but I'm going to do a whole Connect 360 month. So this will include Your Shape Fitness Evolve 2012. This will include picking up some things on Dance Central and Just Dance that I had left behind. So hopefully next month when we record this, I'll have a whole variety of Connect games to discuss. Because we're closed till at least April 29th at this point. So got nothing but time to get back into the Connect.
Awesome.
So
wow,
that's it.
So you got Your Shape Fitness Evolve 2012.
Yes.
Any other sneak preview you can give us there?
Let me see. I'm going to look behind me at my wall of 360 games and remember to talk into the mic while I do so. So I have all the Dance Central games, and I want to say in the first Dance Central, I'm missing like 2 or 3 things, so I probably won't go back to that one. But Dance Central 2, if I recall correctly, has achievements for beating the different levels on medium and hard, and I only ever did them on easy. A lot of that's because I really can't dance, but another part of that is because I'm very lazy and never really tried super hard. So I'd like to go back and do that. If I had to set like one major goal to do in this month, if I accomplish nothing else, in Dance Central 3, there is an achievement to 5-star on the hardest difficulty, the song, I don't remember if it's OMG or Oh My God. I don't remember exactly what it's called, by Usher.
Sing it to me and I'll see if I remember it.
That would require me remembering what it sounds like.
I just wanted to hear your lovely singing voice.
Oh, yes, my lovely singing voice. Only the microphone I sing into for Rock Band knows anything about that. But yeah, that song requires, there's a specific achievement for 5-starring that song. So if I had to set one goal I'd love to accomplish in this month, if I hit the Connect gaming hard enough, I'd love to come back next month and say that I got that one done.
Okay.
Interesting.
And any reason why that one means more to you than the others? Just to finish it off, or what?
I don't know that would actually finish Dance Central 3 for me, but it's more that it requires, you can't fool Dance Central 3 as easily as you, or Dance Central in general, as easily as you could fool the Just Dance games. Dance Central 3, for better and worse, is a lot more particular. Like, I don't know if both of you have played Dance Central before.
2.
I know you've played Country Dance. Elroy, have you played a Dance Central game?
Oh, yeah. No, I played one. I don't know. There's, I remember I played it with Kelly, and I was trying to get some of the co-op ones, and man, I tell you what, I looked like I was a romping and stomping in my room. I'm not a great dancer, and I'm working on that, but we did a Darude Sandstorm, and I had to get like 1,000,000 points on it. So if it was that one, that's the one I did, and I got that 1,000,000, dang it. And I was in a full flop sweat by the time I finished it, though.
And you said you played Dance Central 2?
Yes,
Chewie?
I have. Yeah, a long time ago. Haven't touched it for a while. I do have the Black Eyed Peas one as well, but I don't think that's technically a Dance Central game.
I didn't get that one. I got the Michael Jackson Experience, which is the same like core gameplay design. It's just Michael Jackson tracks instead of Black Eyed Peas.
I got the Black Eyed Peas one as a joke birthday present from one of my friends. Little did he know that a joke birthday present that's an Xbox game is going right in the console.
Nice. So I don't know about Black Eyed Peas experience because I didn't play that one, but the good thing, I think I started Michael Jackson experience once again back in my GTASC 2012 or 2013 run, and there's ridiculously high ratios in that game. And I don't know if it's the same with Black Eyed Peas, but in the Michael Jackson experience, there are several songs where you just have to sing them. So the game has 3 different scoring types. There's just singing, there's singing and dancing, and there's just dancing. So some of the achievements are just for singing the song, and they all had like a 7 ratio because so few people played them. So they were great for those games at that time. Obviously, there are many better, easier ways to get gamer score at this point. But back to the point with Dance Central, if you've played it and you both have, the scoring on the game, like, while you're dancing, different parts of your body will highlight, or the body of the dancer will highlight if you're getting it wrong. So if you're moving your knee the wrong way, that part of the dancer on the screen is going to highlight red. If you're moving your arm the wrong way, the game is like cueing you to let you know, hey, this is the thing that we're not giving you credit for. So you can't fool it. So that's as easily, I'm sure you can. So that's why that particular achievement I want to try to get, because I have to at least try to look like I have some semblance of an idea of what I'm doing. So that will seem like a little more like an accomplishment than just like letting a plush rhino run for 100,000 calories. To me, it's a different,
There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there's anything wrong. Just be a different type of accomplishment.
Definitely different.
Yeah, and all I have otherwise in Dance Central 3 is 1 for getting all the costumes, and then 2 that are just grindy. It's 10,000 nice moves and 10,000 flawless moves. So you turn on the easiest song in the game and you just play it over and over. I don't know if I'll do those. I would love to come back here next month and have that game complete. But that one achievement, that would put a nice cap on the month for me.
So are you doing this just for the fitness aspects, or is that like have much to do with your decision to do this, I guess? Are you just trying to get the burn on?
It does, actually, because like a lot of people who have suddenly found themselves without having to go out and do work to guide their days, like I have to remind myself, okay, it's nice out, get out and walk. And again, we're very much stay inside, stay away from people. I don't live in a part of New York City that is like right next door to a park. As I said, I'm right next door to a cemetery. But it's not, I live in the heart of New York City, not Manhattan, but I live in a typical New York City street where if there are other people out there, it can be tough to get the space that you're supposed to have. So this is a good way to bring that indoors because, the sweatpants look is fine while I'm home and away from work, but at some point I have to go back and I got to make sure that sweatpants aren't my only option.
Oh, all right. Well, that's I look forward to hearing how this runs for you.
Yeah, we'll share some Connect stories.
Yeah,
are you?
We'll see how we do against. We'll see. Or I'm sure we'll have some U-shaped 2012 horror stories.
Oh, I'm sure. So. I'm sure we will. We have to do that Gunnar Peterson workout. I'm looking forward to it. Like you don't know. You're not going to break a sweat, but I'll be like, so, I couldn't get medical attention.
Yeah.
But
I'll ask my rhino how it goes.
There you go. I don't know, Chewie, are you gonna connect-a-thon with us? Or
now I'm feeling the peer pressure to get involved in the old connect-a-thon. I will say that another one of this month's Chewie Challenge Championship challenges is a 5-way connect battle between Freemhole, myself, Retro Chief, Big L, and one Elroy OMJ to get the most gamer score in Connect games.
Well, there you go.
So I could, and that would tie in nicely to that, but I haven't planned for it, so I'm not going to.
I think what he's trying to say is that he's going to change his game over to Black Eyed Peas experience.
Yeah, he picked some like 3 to 4 hour game that he can complete after we record today. Well, so he's got all sorts of time.
Okay, so here's my problem. I, like Elroy OMJ, am also in the GTASC in the team side.
I'm so sorry.
I also am doing my crab, and I am falling behind on that to try and get my at least 15 for the community challenge credit. I also have the RTDL and the gamertag challenge all piled on top of each other. So I was going to kind of cheat this one and knock out something quick and easy. So my game that I picked was a little arcade title called Red Johnson's Chronicles: One Against All, which is quite the mouthful.
I had never ever heard of this before.
Yeah,
I was very into those XBLA titles. So what? Like, when did this come out? What is it? Why do you have it? Like,
well, I'm sure I have it because it turned up in a random sale, and I looked at the fairly high completion rate and thought, "Yep, adventure, point and click. Yep, ticks my boxes. Short and easy. Yep, grabbed it."
So just don't say that your Red Johnson is a mouthful again, please.
Oh yes, I mean, picking Red Johnson definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I guess say Johnson quite a lot of times.
And then we can ask you how your Red Johnson is next month.
Yeah. So this game is a point and click adventure. It's, I think, the first episode in a series that never released any more episodes. Sorry, Siri thinks I was talking to it. Yeah, part of
Siri wants to answer about Red Johnson's
series. Part of a series, that never released any more episodes. Which is, I looked, and there's quite a few of those on the old Xbox store. You know, episode 1, and there was never an episode 2. I will read you the description of this game, seeing as I can't tell you too much about it myself. You play the role of Red Johnson, a private detective who is trying to find his place in the corrupted city of Metropolis. You are taken on by the police who wants you to solve a murder with no corpse. Discover Metropolis, its unique atmosphere, and get to know the rules quickly if you want to survive. It's up to you to look for clues, interrogate the witness, and put the evidence together in order to find the perpetrator. You'll also have to use your logic to solve the different enigmas, and occasionally you'll have to use your fists. And even maybe your Johnson.
Occasionally.
Wow.
It's a point and click, and it can be done in as little as 2 hours. In fact, there is a speedrun achievement, the bane of all adventure games, the one that keeps popping up, and I hate them with a passion. But it asks you to complete the game with 100% progress, so doing everything you need to do in under 2 hours. So I will be aiming to do that and knock it out in a night. But needless to say, I'm sure I'll still have plenty to talk about next month, so I won't be shortchanging you too much.
All right.
Now,
go ahead.
You do know that it's only worth 400 gamer score, right?
You see, for me, 400 is like a magic number. I used to love these little arcade titles. So whereas they are, poison to you, I actually quite welcome them. Although.
And 70 of the 400 is that awful speedrun achievement.
Yeah, and actually the game is very, very backloaded, so I've got 2 achievements already. I think I won't unlock any others until I actually finish the game, because they are all for endgame stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Now, just to put it out there, you are still in G-Task. And the Black Eyed Peas experience, you still have 800 gamer score and 5200 TA to chase.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, how about this? Red Johnson is my game that I'm going to talk about.
Yes.
But I will be doing the Connect because of my Connect challenge. And because, like you say, there will be gains involved. And also because I feel the pressure. I'm feeling very peer pressured. So I will.
To be clear, my game is Racketeer. Like that's the game I'm focusing on because it was in that blog that I've already ignored in the month of March. But I'm going to try. But yes, good. I'm glad to hear it, Chewie.
Yeah, so I will.
But we'll ask about Red Johnson
first. And I will join you in the Connect discussion because it feels like April should be a Connect month. But my game of choice is not a Connect game. It is Red Johnson. That is me playing with Red Johnson.
And as sidebar, in all seriousness, if you do have a Red Johnson, please seek medical attention.
Yes.
Just say,
I do also like the fact that I'm following up Flesh and Blood with Red Johnson.
Oh, there's a theme developing here. Oh, I see.
Oh, man. Yeah, Red Johnson and Saw. Great combo, man. So, all right. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. I think we covered it all. So we shall reconvene in, I don't know, probably another 20, 30 days here.
Something like that.
And, yeah, give or take. And we'll find out how everyone did. We'll find out what our May selections are. And as always, if you have some wonderful non-backwards compatible things that you are working on and you would like to have them mentioned on the show, by all means, hit up Chewie, because we'll put him in charge of that. So just bother him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he doesn't have anything going. He doesn't have anything going on this month. No challenges or anything. So make sure you just send it to him. Send it to him, and make sure you do it Sunday night or Monday morning.
Let the Wookiee win.
But anyway, thanks y'all for joining me today. I enjoyed it, and I guess we'll check back with you next time. So thanks for listening.
Welcome. I am Kronos, and thank you for joining me again. In this segment, I will take a few minutes to look more closely at a game that is off the radar, an overlooked but interesting game that I have played. Most of these games will not be good, but not everything with a low player count is bad, and not everything that isn't amazing is unworthy of being played. I hope to point out a few diamonds in the rough along the way, and even if the game isn't a broadly successful title, it might be exactly what you're looking for, if only you knew it existed. Today, I'm going to be talking about Plague Road. Plague Road is developed and published by Arcade Distillery and retails for $19.99 in the Microsoft Store in the United States. At the time of recording, there are 108 tracked gamers on True Achievements who have started Plague Road. Plague Road's major mechanics are turn-based strategic combat on a small grid, and a very light, roguelite progression tree. In Plague Road, you will take control of a plague doctor on his quest to save a city that has become tainted by a corrupting influence. The corruption causes the beasts to attack viciously and mutates them into monsters, which are the enemies you will fight over and over. On each run, you will leave your encampment and traverse as far as you can, or want to, into the wilderness. On your first run, you will be by yourself, and likely quickly overrun. But along the way, you will have met other survivors, who return to your camp after you rescue them. These survivors can join your party on the next run, with up to 5 characters in the fight on your side at once. Additional survivors can be retired, which powers up the Doctor and his abilities, and those of your fighting survivors. There are several classes of survivor that you can find. Nurses who heal, engineers who can tank a bit and fire long-range rockets or transform the battlefield to your strategic advantage, witches who can cast devastating magical attacks, and peasants and soldiers who provide simple attack options, sometimes with some upside. If you progress far enough, you will reach a checkpoint of sorts, allowing you to fast travel back to that point without traversing the intervening territory first, which can save dozens of fights, but only if you complete quests along the way. All of this sounds like a game that is right up my alley. Roguelite, with maybe even some RPG elements for quests, strategic, turn-based combats, a narrative featuring plague doctors. Sign me up. Unfortunately, not all is well in the land, and it's not just the plague. Plague Road suffers from an overdose of repetition. In order to progress anywhere, you will of course have to fight enemies. Once you get comfortable with the mechanics of your team and find a few extra survivors, these fights become largely trivial. Most of my time in battle was spent pondering how to get out with perfect health, not how to win. Later battles do become more challenging as the game throws more varied and more powerful enemies at you, and in higher numbers, sometimes far exceeding your party limit, but some survivors have such overpowered abilities that even these battles are more about managing resources than any strategic question of who will win. They do not pose a threat to a well-designed team. This unfortunately turns the vast majority of the game, the strategic combat, into a slog, and there is no way to speed it up. This point is important, so it bears repeating. The enemy attack animations cannot be sped up, and were the bulk of the time spent in most of my late-game fights. Worse, each individual fight awards you no benefit. No experience points, no currency, not even a useless one. It may clear the path to a reward, but if you could have avoided that fight, you might have gotten the reward anyway. Most of the overworld navigation, therefore, will be about attempting to avoid these combats, to progress the story, or to find more survivors, or reward chests that are not guarded so well by enemies that are a chore to fight. Plague Road has some things going in its favor. It is Play Anywhere, which was a significant advantage to me. It allowed me to play the game on my computer while my Xbox was entertaining my family. Unfortunately, the controls actually work better on console with a controller, as the mouse and keyboard interface was not ideal. The angle of the display makes identifying which square on the grid you are selecting a challenge, and this is made worse when selecting with a mouse. It's also worth mentioning that the artwork and music are both very high quality for what is obviously a low-budget, independent game made by a small team. The story, while nothing to write home about, serves its purpose, and the game has narration by a mini-celebrity. Yes, the voice acting was provided for Plague Road by video game critic Jim Sterling. Thank God for him. As I mentioned, the high concept pieces all work, and genre-wise this game is right in my wheelhouse, so I had a good time with it. But I do have to admit that it feels like an indie game. Of course it is, but not every indie game feels like an indie game. When I get a chance to play a high-quality indie game, I can be amazed that it was the product of a small team. With Plague Road, it feels more like a passion project by one guy, and some contractors he hired to help him out. It has bucket list, make a video game, check, written all over it. To the developer's credit, it actually is a complete video game. There are no major bugs, except that some achievement descriptions seem to be incorrect. They all still pop on time and easily enough. The gameplay loop and theme are well designed and successfully executed. The balance oversights and unpleasant choreness of the battles are things that could have been ironed out with more developers or more development time. There's a backbone here that fans of this kind of game can latch onto. If Arcade Distillery is able to release a second game, the odds are that it'll be much improved. For achievement hunters, Plague Road is an interesting choice. The game will take 6 to 10 hours to complete, which could be significantly faster if you're able to dodge combat in the overworld, particularly later in the game. The achievements are all quite easy, and will pose no trouble to anyone willing to put in the time required to complete the story. Additionally, while I said at the top that the game is $19.99, it has regularly gone on sale, and has apparently had a permanent price reduction to $4.99. At the reduced price, Plague Road is a solid pickup for anyone looking for a play-anywhere strategy game to spend a few hours on.
Hello and welcome to another Trivia Battle Royale with me, Waka. With me today I have Carpe Adam.
Hello.
What the Fog.
Hello.
Kronos.
Hi.
Mr. Essential.
Hello.
Chewie. Volga Latin.
Hi.
And today we haven't made any changes to the rules whatsoever to make things easy. Unless you're in the lead at the end of your round, you are out. In front of the contestants, they have a board with 6 categories with point values from 1 to 7. To determine who goes first, the question is: Carpe Adam 79 is number 11 on the puzzle game score leaderboard for Florida. What is his puzzle TA score as of the 25th of April? Carpe Adam, you go first.
Puzzle TA score, I'm going to say 85,000.
Someone's confident. Sog?
25,000.
Kronos?
Let's go 33,000.
Mr. Essential?
Carpe thinks he has a lot, so I'm going to go 50,000.
Chewie? 84,999.
That's the wrong way, but
That's one way to play the prices, right?
The price is wrong.
Volga Latin.
I'm gonna go 50,001.
That's the right way.
All right, and the answer was 56,762.
Jeez.
Woo! Ah.
The order is Volga Latin, Mr. Essential, Kronos, Chewie, Carpe Adam, and Fug. Volga Latin, you're first. The categories are Community Spotlight, Rise of the Robots, Made in Sweden, Going Viral, E, and Ultraviolence.
I'm gonna go all Alex DeLarge and take a little bit of the ultraviolence for one.
Ultraviolence is the highest difficulty setting in Doom. Is that true or false?
It is false.
That is false. Nightmare is the highest difficulty setting. Volga Latin gets 1 point. And we need to see if you find some loot. You found a rucksack.
All right, more meatballs.
Nice.
The rucksack allows you to carry 2 additional items. That's a good start. Up next is Mr. Essential, and he needs 1 point to remain in the competition and at maximum get 2 more points.
All right, I will go with E for 2 points.
E is for 11. Which of these games is worth the most True Achievement score in the football genre on True Achievements? Pro Evolution Soccer 2018, Love Football, or FIFA 20?
Now, is this football soccer or football American football now? I assume it's football soccer. It's going to be confused. Oh, let's see. Soccer. I do not play any FIFA games or any kind of soccer games or football. If you're in Europe, I will just throw out a guess and put out, because I've never heard of it, Love Football.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 is worth 5,188 TA and Love Football only 2,754.
I guess I'm the first one to go.
Tough luck, Mr. Essential.
Bye-bye.
That is just how the cookie crumbles. Well, thanks for being on. Maybe next time I'll get to come back.
Thanks for playing. Bye.
Bye.
Kronos, you're up.
How are we going to continue now? We've lost Mr. Essential.
I don't think Ultraviolence is the category for you.
Thank you. I'll take Rise of the Robots for 1, please.
Heart and Slash has 1 date-specific achievement. What day can you unlock the achievement Creature of the Night? 14th of February, 31st of October, or 25th of December?
Well, Heart and Slash wants me to think it's Valentine's Day, but the Creature of the Night tells me it's the 31st of October.
Is that your final answer?
31st of October, final answer.
That is correct. And he found a map. The map reveals the hidden category.
Ah.
And the hidden category is Lucky 7. And only someone holding the map is allowed to pick questions from that category.
I like this.
Chewie, you're up. Made in Sweden for 1. Yeah. I thought you were going aggressive. In the Mirror's Edge, the pacifist achievement is earned by completing a chapter without firing a gun. But can the entire game be completed without firing a gun? That is incorrect. There is a single bullet you have to use to stop a car.
Oh, my rival Chewie got eliminated? You hate to see it.
Better luck next time, Chewie. Bye. Carpe Adam, you're up.
Okay, let's do Rise of the Robots for 3.
Ratalaika published Twin Robots Ultimate Edition has 1,000 gamer score. But what is its TA score? You need to get within 50.
It should be pretty low. I'm just going to say 1,100 since I have that 50-point cushion.
1100, and the answer is 1092. You
Yes.
only missed by 8, and that is within 50. And there is no loot here, unfortunately. But you did get 3 points. Fug is up.
So does that mean I have to get at least 3
You
now?
need to get at least 3, and you can get maximum 5 points.
Let's go with E for 3.
E is for easy. Deep Space Rush has a ratio of 1.005. Name the developer or publisher.
Good lord, I have no idea. I've never played this game. Oh, let's just guess and go Ratalaika.
Ratalaika is indeed the publisher, and it was developed by Bug Studio. Do we find any loot here? No, the loot was non-existent. Carpe Adam is at 3, Fug is at 3, and we are back to Volga Latin and his rucksack.
Yay. I'm going to do Ultraviolence for 2.
The first-person fantasy roguelite Cigarette has an achievement called Ultraviolence. What do you have to do to unlock the Ultraviolence achievement? Make an enemy's head explode, finish the campaign on at least hard difficulty, or kill 5,000 enemies.
I've heard of Ziggurat. I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say you need to kill 5,000 enemies.
And the answer is blank. Perfect.
Yeah! Choose my own adventure.
There you go.
I shouldn't do this at midnight. It's kill 5,000 enemies.
Hey!
And did you find any loot? No loot for you this time. So your rucksack is still empty.
I'll keep on rucking it. Keep on rucking. There you go, that's better.
Kronos, you're at 1. The rest of the contestants are at 3.
So I need at least 2, but I can go higher. I don't feel like playing it risky yet. Let me take Lucky 7 for 2, please.
Lucky 7
so that's
for
where
2.
I am allowed to go.
Cast of the 7 Godsends has frequently been on sale, but many achievement hunters stay away from it due to unobtainables. How many unobtainables does Cast of the 7 Godsends have? 8, 13, or 21?
I remember it has a bunch. I don't think it has 21, so it's either 8 or 13. I recall it having like 11. That's close enough that it could be either of those. Let's split the difference in the one that's closer to the one that I actually thought it was, which is, let's say 13.
And the answer is 8.
Damn it!
That was too bad. And I'm going to double check the score. You're at 1. Your contestants are at 3.
I am eliminated.
So you are eliminated for real this time. Well, thanks for playing, Kronos.
Thank you for having me back.
Ooh, another one for the loser's couch.
Carpe Adam is up, and there is a rule that you can choose to loot a person's loot instead of taking a question.
Nah. Well, actually, now, there's no way I can be eliminated then.
Not at this stage. Every remaining player is at 3.
Yeah, so I will do that just so that I don't take the risk of getting eliminated. So give me that map, please, sir.
Since all contestants are at 3, if you fail your question, you will still be in the lead.
Oh, gotcha. I'll still take it. That way I have some more to choose from, I guess.
Carpe Adam takes Kronos' map. Fug, you're up.
How many points do I need?
0.
Do whatever, man.
Let's just go with something easy then. Community Spotlight for 1.
Chewie on Ice has completed 89 Windows Phone games. Is he in the top 10 for completed Windows Phone games in England?
That seems like a lot of phone games. I'm going to say yes.
No, wow. He is at position 32. Luckily, this will not get you eliminated since you are all at 3. And Volga Latin is up.
So, what's the maximum amount of points that I can only be 2 ahead of? So I can only be at 5 points total, right?
Yes.
I'm going to take Ultraviolence for 7.
Why would you do that?
There's no harm in me doing this.
Condemned Criminal Origins was a physical release in November of 2005. How much game score does Condemned Criminal Origins have?
950.
950
So close.
Is incorrect. It has 970 game score.
But
Dang it, I'd have gotten that one.
nothing happens, which is why I did that.
Entire round
Wasn't that the
went
start
by,
of a new round, though?
and no one was eliminated.
I just wanted the loot,
Okay.
but we're all tied.
You're all tied. It doesn't matter if you.
Okay.
wanted the
It's
loot.
at the end of your round that counts.
But he could get eliminated, though, if I get mine right and so does Fug.
So, I mean, technically, if nobody answers any questions right, could they all just keep going forever?
The question for you now, Carpe Adam, is risk-free. And you have a map.
I don't even remember what the question was when Kronos used it. So I don't know if they're easy. Yeah, I'd rather do... Well, I'm going to do Rise of the Robots for 2.
It was Cast of the Seven Gods. I think that it's games with 7 or things that have to do with 7. I don't know why I'm helping you.
Binary Domain, by the makers of Yakuza, stars an international team infiltrating Neo-Tokyo in search of a source of illegal androids. What nationality, along with ludicrous accent, is the robot agent Kane? Is he French, Spanish, or Chinese?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Let's see if I can figure this out. Binary Domain, it's Yakuza, infiltrating Neo-Tokyo. I'm going to say French.
And French he is.
Yes!
You found a map.
All right.
You can choose to pick up the map and discard the map or keep your map.
Are the maps the same map?
They are exactly the same.
Well, I'm going to get rid of Kronos' map and take my own. I don't want his germs.
That makes sense. There you go. Carpe Adam is in the lead with 5. This time it's for real, Fug.
Oh, it's back to me, huh? Let's choose going viral for 2.
Shadowrun Fever was one of the first viral achievements going live in June 2007. What do you have to do to unlock Shadowrun Fever? Kill a developer or a player with Shadowrun Fever? Kill a player with a flamethrower with Shadowrun Fever? Or teabag a player with Shadowrun Fever?
I've never played this game, so I don't have a clue, but I know a lot of the virals were killing a developer or a player, so I'm going to go with that first one.
That is incorrect. You have to teabag a player with Shadowrun Fever.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yep,
That's
it's
crazy.
a pretty infamous achievement from the early days.
Good game, man.
That means you're out, Fog.
Well, it's fun playing. One of these days, maybe I'll get to the end.
Carpe Adam, it's come to this.
Later, Fug. Okay, man, what you gonna do?
Bye, Fog.
See you later.
Me and you were just made for each other.
You are up. You're at 3. Carpe Adam is at 5. And there are no point caps anymore.
Oh, do I just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again?
Definition of insanity, right?
Yeah, right? Let's take Ultraviolence for 3.
In the Crackdown series, you play as many different characters, but the protagonist is not addressed with his or her name. What are you called in Crackdown?
Oh, wow. It's been a while since I've played it, but aren't you just Agent?
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
That is correct. You found a
I'll keep
chicken
it.
dinner. You'll keep it?
Well, I can. I have the rucksack, so I can take that as well.
Yep. You have space for 2 more items. The chicken dinner instantly gets you 3 points, and you can use it at the beginning of your next turn if you choose, or keep it for later.
I can use it at the beginning, or can I use it right now?
No, at the beginning of your turn before you pick a question.
Fantastic.
You are at 6. Carpe Adam, you are at 5, and Volgalatin has a chicken
that gives
dinner.
him a real advantage. Let me think here. So he's got a 1-point lead, so he'll have at least 4. Now, if he goes ahead of me, I'll still get a turn as long as I get this one right? So, all right. So I don't need to go crazy. I'll just do. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do Rise of the Robots for 4.
Platinum Games put their spin on Metal Gear with incredibly over-the-top action. What is the name of the cyborg protagonist of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance? Code and nicknames count, except Snake.
Code and nicknames count except Snake.
He has many names, you only need one. He is briefly called Snake during another game.
I'm just gonna, because I remember in Metal Gear Solid at one point it's sort of a callback to a different Snake, so I'm just gonna guess and say Pliskin, because I have no idea.
That is incorrect. He is called Raiden, or Jack the Ripper, or Saucy Jack, or White Devil.
Which Metal Gear game was this?
Revengeance was the beat 'em up one.
Yeah, I've never played
insane.
that one.
It is completely insane.
You body slam a Metal Gear, I believe, at one point.
Yeah, you do, and you beat up a American senator with your sword.
He is a tough boy, American senator too. Yeah, that took me a while.
So is Volga Latin. You are on top.
Congrats,
this week,
man!
And you are the winner.
I'm gonna eat my chicken dinner in celebration. Thank you.
So that puts you out at 9 then.
Hey.
9-5.
Yeah, only way to make a living.
Yeah, hey. Great job, everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Let's see what we have as a prize for you.
Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Ooh. Yeah.
Since you steamrolled the competition, I present to you a copy of Steamroll.
Ooh. Fancy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I really like this game, but no one has played it. I think it's less than 70 players on TA. I hope you enjoy it.
I will. I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes today. We'll give it a shot today.
Yeah, I've meant to play that one. I need to play that one, along with a long list of other games I need to play. Story of my life.
Thank you everyone for playing. We'll see if there will be a next time. I enjoy doing this, even if I'm super, super tired right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, everyone.